in Wonderland had once said, "My dear, here we must run as fast as we can, just to stay in place. And if you wish to go anywhere, you must run twice as fast as that." In an ever-changing academic landscape, we must continuously learn, improve, and evolve to just maintain wherever we are. With the blessings of our Honorable Founder President, Sir, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, Sir, Honorable Chancellor, Sir, Dr. Atul Chauhan, Sir, and Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Dr. Ashok K. Srivastav, Sir, I wish everyone a very good afternoon and welcome our distinguished dignitaries, respected academicians, esteemed resource persons, faculty members, research scholars, and dear participants joining us from different parts of the country to the UGC Faculty Development Program on NEP 2020, Orientation and Sensitization, being organized in collaboration with UGC Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center, Jai Narayan Vyas University, Jodhpur. This 8-day online FDP is scheduled from 28th May to 5th June 2026 with the objective of creating awareness, orientation, and academic understanding regarding the implementation framework of the National Education Policy 2020. It is a transformative step toward building an inclusive, multidisciplinary, innovative, and globally competitive education system in India. More than 300 participants from various universities and educators across colleges and institutions have joined us today and expect to benefit from this program. May I now request our respected Registrar, Sir, Dr. Prabhakar Tripathi, Sir, to kindly bless the August gathering. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I extend my warm welcome to all esteemed experts, all participants, our organizing committee members, and especially to Professor Rajesh Kumar Dubey sir, who has kindly initiated and mentorship this program. I'm really very much happy to be the part of this inaugural session. In fact, since the implementation of this NEP, the one batch is already going on there. There had been some observations and constant also, but during implementation, this had been conceptualized with the global vision and nurturing the local wisdom, local knowledge, local culture, local languages. So this is certainly a path that decides the growth from local level to global level. So, well, I'm thinking that this wonderful program is going to be benefited for all programs, all faculty members, and certainly we are very much grateful and especially to the patroning members who have kindly considered to give their expertise session here to all the participants, and my heartiest congratulations to organizing committee members. They have organized this wonderful session on this NEP. My once again heartiest congratulations to you all.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now request our respected Dean MP, Dr. Abhishek Tripathi, sir, to kindly present the welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Right. So, good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon, all the participants, all the experts we have, our honorable, respected registrars, all the faculty members over here, and most importantly, Professor Rajesh Kumar Dubey, sir, for helping us, for mentoring us to come to this extent that we are able to organize this great FDP online. And also, I want to congratulate our team, Amity University, Jharkhand, that you've taken up this role, and I'm sure we are going to be successful in this. As Sir said, it has already been a batch when NEP came into existence, and we have been reading a lot, we have been learning a lot. But what necessitates this FDP is the missing part which has to be put together. So it is fragmented, it has been designed very well, but when it comes to implementation, there are various things which are yet to be put in place, and that is where this FDP will play its part. Now, I'm really happy that we are playing a small bit into it, and we are able to play our part. We are able to actually contribute a bit about the implementation of this great policy. Because I have been looking into this policy for last 5 6 years from the time it came into existence, and also because of doing the my college from the similar kind of institution in UK, where we used to have higher national certificate, higher national diploma, and then engineering graduation, then honors, right? So I'm quite aware about this thing, but I understand that we need some time, we need some development, we need some things to come together so that this policy can be implemented in letter and spirit. And I'm sure this FDP is going to be one of the building blocks of NEP in the coming days. Thank you and best of luck. And I'm really sure that each and every participant is going to learn a lot about new education policy 2020. Thank you. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now request our respected Assistant Director, Dr. Nishan Mani, sir, to kindly present the welcome speech. Sir has not been able to join due to some unforeseen event. May I take this opportunity to welcome our reverend guest, Professor Rajesh Kumar Dubey, sir, to this gathering. It is my proud privilege to warmly welcome him, and I take this opportunity to introduce him to our gathering here. Professor Rajesh Kumar Dubey, sir, is a highly respected academician, administrator, researcher, mentor, and visionary leader in the field of higher education and biotechnology. He is presently serving as the Professor Director of UGC, MMTTC, JNV University, Jodhpur. He has formerly been the Director at UGC Human Resource Development Center, National Resource Center, Biotechnology, and course director and head at various prestigious institutions. He possesses more than 25 rich years of remarkable experience in research, academic, administration, institutional development, innovation, and entrepreneurship. He has made exceptional contributions in organic, agri-biotechnology, green technology, academic leadership, curriculum development, research innovation, MOOCs and SWAYAM initiatives, entrepreneurship, and skill developments. His academic achievements include more than 120 international publications, around 100 national publications, 35 books, 75 book chapters, 10 patents, and more than 625 invited lectures at various national and international platforms. He has organized more than 275 orientation programs, FDPs, and refresher courses, and more than 150 webinars supported by UGC and various other institutes. Sir has received more than 35 awards at national and international levels. Respected sir, you are warmly welcome at Amity University, Jharkhand. And may I request you to kindly take the dais. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Tanisha Kundu, for your good, kind words. And on this virtual platform from UGC, I welcome Dr. Prabhakar Tripathi ji, my friend, the registrar of the MT University. Prabhakar ji, स्वागत है आपका.
Sir, pranam.
I welcome Dr. Abhishek Tripathi, the dean, who just have given few words to all of you for all 8 days deliberation. The Dr. Nishant Mani could not join us, but I think in due course of time he will join us. And the most important man behind this preparation, and Dr. Prabhakar ji, Ajit Kumar.
Right, sir. Right.
Yeah.
He had been very much instrumental there.
Yes. काफी दिन पहले उन्होंने मुझे फोन किया कि सर एक प्रोग्राम हमें करना है. उनका बिल्कुल करिए. बोले हम झारखंड रांची एमटी यूनिवर्सिटी से हैं. हमने उनसे कहा कि झारखंड इज द राइट प्लेस and Ranchi is the capital of Jharkhand. So you organize one FDP program on our National Education Policy 2020.
Sir.
because we know the states like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, even West Bengal, no, our NEP 2020, जैसा अभी प्रभाकर जी कह रहे थे रजिस्ट्रार साहब की, there is thrust area, and especially the teachers from rural areas or some peri-urban areas, they need more, understanding of flagship programs of NEP 2020.
Exactly, sir.
जैसा अभी प्रभाकर जी कह रहे थे कि हमारे देश में वैसे तो शिक्षा का काफी कुछ हो रहा है, और एमईटी यूनिवर्सिटी इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट यूनिवर्सिटी इन इंडिया इन पब्लिक सेक्टर. हालांकि पब्लिक और प्राइवेट में बड़ा कंफ्यूजन है, हु इज पब्लिक एंड हु इज प्राइवेट. सो एमईटी यूनिवर्सिटी का नोएडा से लेके कई स्टेट में हम लोगों से मिलना होता है, बस खाली रांची वालों से मिलना पहली बार हो रहा है.
सर मोस्ट वेलकम सर.
तो आई थिंक ये जो 8 दिन का प्रोग्राम है, दिस प्रोग्राम इज रियली वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टू ऑल ऑफ अस, एंड इवन अ न्यू लर्नर कैन डू इट प्रॉपरली. इसलिए प्रभाकर जी कि ये दिन भर में केवल 3 घंटे होता है, और हमारे डॉक्टर अजीत कुमार ने इसको सही टाइम चुना है आफ्टरनून में. तो आज इनाग्रल डे है, so we have joined I think half an hour earlier. Otherwise the program is classically from 2 to 5:15.
राइट सर.
2 सेशंस होंगे पर डे. 2 डिस्टिंग्विश स्पीकर जो हमारे देश के नेशनल स्पीकर होते हैं, जो डेवलपमेंट एंड मॉडर्न ट्रेंड्स पे बात करते हैं, वो हमारे यूजीसी मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन से 8 फ्लैगशिप प्रोग्राम्स डिजाइंड हैं. उन्हीं 8 फ्लैगशिप प्रोग्राम्स पे 8 दिनों का प्रोग्राम होता है. एक टॉपिक पे 2 दिन का 2 सेशंस होंगे, और आप इसको ध्यान से सुनेंगे तो बहुत अच्छा रहेगा. लेकिन प्रभाकर जी, हम आप सबको बताना चाहते हैं कि ये प्रोग्राम हमारे राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति का सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट प्रोग्राम है.
सर.
और इस प्रोग्राम में हम अपने सभी शिक्षकों को 2 क्रेडिट भी देते हैं. इनको असेसमेंट के आधार पे, असेसमेंट का तरीका क्या है हमारे अजीत जी आपको जरूर बताएंगे. असेसमेंट के अलावा 2 क्रेडिट मिलता है, और वो हमारे सेंटर के डायरेक्टर से ही देते हैं. लेकिन वो तब मिलता है जब पार्टिसिपेंट वीडियो मोड में होंगे. दिस इज अ वीडियो ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम. ये ऑडियो प्रोग्राम नहीं है कि आपने इसको ज्वाइन कर लिया और आप कहीं सुन रहे हैं. तो सुनना तो ठीक है, सुनाई पड़ेगा आपको, आप मल्टीटास्किंग भी कर सकते हैं, सुन भी सकते हैं, बट यू विल गेट क्रेडिट. आपको शायद जानकारी भी होगी कि जो हमारा नेशनल क्रेडिट फ्रेमवर्क है एनईपी 2020 के अंतर्गत, उसमें 12 घंटे की ट्रेनिंग to a teacher is equal to 1 credit. This program is 8-day program, 3 hours per day. So total hours of this program is 24 hours in 8 days. So जो 24 घंटे उपस्थित रहेंगे, they can get credit transfer in their accounts. That is 2 credit for all this FDP. That is in addition to the certificate you will receive from UGC. So ये हम आपको इसलिए बता रहे हैं ओपनिंग सेशन में कि आप बाद में ये न कहना कि हमें किसी ने बताया नहीं और हमने ज्वाइन वीडियो में किया नहीं. That is very important one. दूसरा जो महत्वपूर्ण भाग है, our NEP 2020 is designed to make India a global knowledge superpower. लक्ष्य बहुत ऊंचा है प्रभाकर जी, और उस लक्ष्य को प्राप्त करने के लिए हमारे लाइन डिपार्टमेंट्स, हमारी यूजीसी, हमारी मिनिस्ट्री, हमारे एआईसीटी, हमारी एनसीटी, ये सारे इंस्टीट्यूशंस काम कर रहे हैं. परंतु कुछ ऐसी परिस्थितियां 2020 से ही बनी हैं कि रफ्तार नहीं पकड़ पाया है. कुछ तो कोविड के दौरान वी कुड नॉट रियली क्लिक वेल, और उसके बाद जो नॉर्मल सिचुएशन थी वो अभी भी नहीं आई है। दैट्स वाई वी आर इन वीडियो मोड। अदरवाइज हमारे जितने टीचर्स आप ज्वाइन किए हैं, ये 8 दिन के लिए हमारे सेंटर पे आते हैं, वहाँ उनके गेस्ट हाउस में रहते हैं, और वो आपस में भी मिलते हैं और हमारे एक्सपर्ट से भी मिलके जाते हैं। But we don't know the next normal. Anyway, now the whole world is working on digital mode. We are working in digital India mission. We are one of the best country in the world in terms of education. पहले तो हम टीचर ऑफ द वर्ल्ड होते थे, हिंदी में हम उसको विश्व गुरु कहते हैं, लेकिन कुछ ऐसा बदलाव हुआ। शायद 1835 में लॉर्ड मैकाले की शिक्षा नीति आई, और वो शिक्षा नीति हमारे सभी शिक्षक जानते हैं, सब खूब पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं प्रभाकर जी, वो ये जानते हैं कि वो शिक्षा नीति ऐसी थी लॉर्ड मैकाले की कि उनका कहना था कि आप बाहर से तो इंडियन रहें, लेकिन अंदर से आप अंग्रेज बन जाएं। तो उसका नतीजा ये निकला कि हम डॉक्टर प्रभाकर रजिस्ट्रार साहब या जितने टीचर्स हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं, वी ऑल आर कमिंग फ्रॉम द ओल्ड एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 1986। तो वो पॉलिसी भी अच्छी थी, उस पॉलिसी में पढ़ के ही हम लोग प्रोफेसर बन गए, डायरेक्टर बन गए, रजिस्ट्रार बन गए, टीचर बन गए। बट वो पॉलिसी काफी कुछ 1835 की पॉलिसी से ही जुड़ी हुई थी। अब हम और सब पढ़ते थे तो हम लोग एक सब्जेक्ट पढ़ते थे और उसी में यूजी किया, उसी के साथ पीजी किया, उसी के साथ रिसर्च कर लिया, एंड उसी डिपार्टमेंट में हम टीचिंग, लर्निंग, रिसर्च करने लगे। बट आई थिंक यू ऑल नो वेरी वेल that now in NEP 2020 nothing is monodisciplinary.
Right.
Monodisciplinary days are gone. It's something like Maruti 800 model car. कि कार तो बहुत अच्छी थी, बड़ी फ्रेंडली थी, होमली थी, मीडियम क्लास के लोग भी उसको अफोर्ड कर लेते थे, कभी कभी तो लोअर इनकम ग्रुप के लोग भी उसको ले लेते थे। बट अच्छी होने के बाद भी वो मार्केट में नहीं है। ऐसे ही हमारी मोनोडिसिप्लिनरी एजुकेशन सिस्टम जो 1986 में आया, वो अच्छा तो था, परंतु अब जब हम दैनिक जीवन की समस्याओं का समाधान ढूंढते हैं, जिसे हम कहते हैं हाउ टू सॉल्व योर रियल लाइफ प्रॉब्लम, तो वो एजुकेशन पॉलिसी कहीं ना कहीं उसमें कमियां दिखने लगी। और जमाना बदला, युग बदला, आवश्यकताएं बदली। अब हमारे देश में बड़े से बड़े वैज्ञानिक हैं, बहुत बड़े से बड़े शिक्षक हैं, बहुत बड़े से बड़े एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं, तो वो एजुकेशन पॉलिसी हमको प्रॉपर एड्रेस नहीं कर पाई। सो टू मेक quality education and quality research, now we have a policy that is going to solve your real life problem. So this policy is mostly a monodisciplinary to multidisciplinary policy.
Right, sir.
And we all know how to go multidisciplinary, but because we all are coming from monodisciplinary stock, monodisciplinary route, so we don't know exactly how to implement multidisciplinary program in the classroom. अभी प्रभाकर जी कह रहे थे कि भाई हमारे विश्वविद्यालय तो बड़े हो गए, प्राइवेट सेक्टर के विश्वविद्यालय एमआईटी यूनिवर्सिटी जैसे बहुत बड़े हो गए। हम कई एमआईटी यूनिवर्सिटीज में जाने का मौका मिला, उनकी बिल्डिंग्स आप देखो, दे आर फार सुपीरियर देन गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूशंस। उनके कैंपस देखो, इवन द ग्रासेस आर ग्रीन, थिंग्स आर ब्राइट। But when we talk about the entrepreneurship, when we talk about the industry linkage, when we talk about the skill development, when we talk about the Indian knowledge system working in the university campus, भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा की शिक्षा, जब हम बात करते हैं कि ये अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूशंस व्हाट दे आर डूइंग फॉर सोसाइटी, क्या हमारे ये विश्वविद्यालय अपने कैंपस के अंदर ही काम कर रहे हैं या कैंपस के बाहर भी जाते हैं? खास करके जब झारखंड जैसे स्टेट की बात करते हैं, प्रभाकर जी, मैं झारखंड गवर्नमेंट का एडवाइजर था बहुत पहले, जब अर्जुन मुंडा जी वहां के मुख्यमंत्री होते थे।
ओके, ग्रेट सर, ग्रेट।
उस दौरान हमें झारखंड के कई सारे जिलों में, लगभग सभी जिलों में जाने का मौका मिला। एक दो तीन का नाम लेंगे। एक बार हम लोग चतरा करके एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, वहां गए। चतरा डिस्ट्रिक्ट आज भी भारतवर्ष में सबसे ज्यादा हंगर, भूखमरी का शिकार है। राइट। तो हम ये कह सकते हैं कि हम, ठीक है कि 81 करोड़ लोगों को फूड देते हैं, सरकार की योजना में देते हैं, बहुत अच्छी बात है। लेकिन दूसरी तरफ जब हम बात करते हैं कि बाई 2047 वी आर गोइंग टू बी द डेवलप्ड कंट्री,
राइट सर।
तो ये स्थिति नहीं आनी चाहिए। इसीलिए हम लाइन डिपार्टमेंट, चाहे हमारा पर्यावरण ठीक करना हो, प्रदूषण, हम दिल्ली में देखते हैं प्रभाकर जी की ऑड और इवन नंबर की कार चलती हैं जब प्रदूषण बढ़ जाता है तो।
राइट सर।
या हम ये देखते हैं कि हमारे देश में पानी की समस्या कितनी है कि आज पानी, बोतल का पानी दूध के दाम से ज्यादा का बिकता है। अभी दुनिया में 2 3 4 देशों में सिचुएशन अच्छा नहीं है। सीज फायर तो है लेकिन लड़ाई भी चल रही है। हम देखते हैं कि ऊर्जा के क्षेत्र में हम कितना निर्बल हैं, कितना हम दूसरों पे आश्रित हैं। इतना आश्रित है कि कब बंद हो जाएगा पेट्रोल पंप, कब हमारी कार रुक जाएगी, हम जानते नहीं। तो क्या इन सब के आधार पे हम विकसित राष्ट्र बनेंगे? शायद इसका उत्तर हमारे लाइन डिपार्टमेंट नहीं दे पाएंगे, इसका उत्तर हमारे शिक्षक देंगे। हम सब जानते हैं प्रभाकर जी कि अगर किसी समाज को बदलना है तो शिक्षा से ही समाज बदलता है।
राइट।
कोई बंदूक से, गोली से किसी को हम बदल नहीं सकते। डरा के, धमका के डोनाल्ड ट्रंप भी किसी को बदल नहीं पाए। इसलिए जो हमारी शिक्षा नीति है वो ऐसी होनी चाहिए कि हम अपने उन गुणों पे काम करें जो हमें विश्व गुरु बनाया था। हम दुनिया के पहले राष्ट्र थे जहां पे विश्वविद्यालय खुला। आप जानते होंगे तक्षशिला नालंदा, फर्स्ट यूनिवर्सिटी इन द वर्ल्ड भारत में था। आप जानते होंगे कि दुनिया को कृषि और पशुपालन का ज्ञान भारत ने दिया। वो सिंधु नदी के किनारे एक गांव है जिसको हम मेहरगढ़ कहते हैं। दैट इज द फर्स्ट विलेज इन द वर्ल्ड टू प्रैक्टिस फार्मिंग, एनिमल हस्बेंड्री एंड एग्रीकल्चर साइंसेस टू द वर्ल्ड। We all know very well that India is the first country in the world जिसने दुनिया को स्वास्थ्य विज्ञान दिया। उसको हम बहुत प्रेम से आयुर्वेद कहते हैं। आयुर्वेद हो, योग हो, ज्योतिष विज्ञान हो, एस्ट्रोफिजिक्स हो, इस तरह का ज्ञान दुनिया में पहली बार भारत ने ही दिया।
राइट सर।
लेकिन वो ज्ञान कहाँ गायब हो गया कि अब अमेरिका हमसे आगे है, चाइना हमसे आगे है। औसत रूप में देखा जाए तो इंडिया इज द थर्ड बेस्ट कंट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन, बट एबव इंडिया इज यूएसए, चाइना। हमारे समझ से आज बहुत टाइम नहीं है, ज्यादा टाइम आपका लेंगे नहीं। कभी मौका मिला तो आपको डिटेल में बात बताएंगे। ये इनागुरल सेशन है, 8 दिन का कार्यक्रम है। बहुत एकेडमिक लोड जब आपका दोपहर तक कर लीजिए, उसके बाद इसको ज्वाइन करिए। प्रेम से इसको सुनिए, जॉयफुल रहिए, बहुत टेंशन में मत रहिए। असेसमेंट 2 जरूर होंगे लेकिन वो ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आप उसको पास नहीं कर पाएंगे।
राइट राइट।
8 दिन में देश के अच्छे लोग जो उपलब्ध हैं इन तिथियों पे, इन टाइम पे, वो आएंगे। अजीत जी हमारे बहुत स्मार्ट कोऑर्डिनेटर हैं। हम समझते हैं अजीत जी को इस प्रोग्राम का पूरा फ्रेम वर्क मालूम है, वो इसको क्रियान्वित करेंगे। सेशंस प्रोबेबली इंटरेक्टिव रखिए। आप सब टीचर्स हैं। इस प्रोग्राम में रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर्स, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर्स, प्रोफेसर्स, डीन, डायरेक्टर्स, वाइस चांसलर्स सब अलाउड हैं। एनीबडी कैन ज्वाइन दिस प्रोग्राम। Prabhakar ji, this is the only program of UGC where A to Z stakeholders of higher education can join it.
Very good, sir. Very good.
और आपको बधाई देते हैं, आपका पहला प्रयास है, लेकिन 200 के करीब रजिस्ट्रेशन बहुत कम टाइम में, शायद 25-26 को ये तय हुआ कि प्रोग्राम होना है, तो 2-3-4 दिनों में ही आपका विश्वविद्यालय, जैसा आप लोग अच्छा काम करते ही हैं तो यहाँ भी अच्छा काम किए हैं, हम आपको शुभकामनाएं देते हैं कि आप 8 दिन इस कार्यक्रम को, जो भी हमारा फ्रेम है, यूजीसी का प्रोग्राम है, उस
Right.
फ्रेम के अंतर्गत क्रियान्वित करिए।
बिल्कुल।
असेसमेंट भी टाइमली दीजिए और उम्मीद करते हैं कि आपको अच्छे ग्रेड भी मिलेंगे। ग्रेड का सिस्टम आपके ग्रुप में होगा, एक व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप क्रिएट किया होगा अजीत जी ने, उस ग्रुप पे ही सारी जानकारी जाएगी। चूंकि ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम है तो कोई पार्टिसिपेंट ये नहीं एक्सपेक्ट करें कि उनको कस्टमाइज्ड ईमेल जाएगा, राइट। आप अपने ग्रुप में सजग रहें, उसको देखते रहें, और जो हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजर्स हैं, कोऑर्डिनेटर्स हैं, कन्वीनर्स हैं, वो आपको समय समय पे जरूर इस बात के लिए तैयार करेंगे कि आपका कुछ छूटने ना पावे। यहाँ पे सब कुछ वर्चुअल है। इवन मैं एज ए डायरेक्टर, मैं भी वर्चुअली आपसे जुड़ा हूँ। हमारे डॉक्टर प्रभाकर जी रजिस्ट्रार हैं यूनिवर्सिटी के, लेकिन वो भी वर्चुअल हैं। हमारी अभी प्रोग्राम को मॉडरेट कर रही हैं तनिषा जी, वो भी वर्चुअल हैं। Every participant is virtual. You all are sitting in your comfortable zone. कोई अपने घर पे है, कोई ऑफिस में है, कोई भी कार में दिख जाते हैं। ऑनलाइन का प्रोग्राम है, सुनते रहते हैं। यही खूबी है कि anyone, anytime, anywhere can join this program.
Right.
इसीलिए प्रभाकर जी 200 लोग हैं। अगर 200 लोगों का 8 दिन का प्रोग्राम आपके एमआईटी यूनिवर्सिटी कैंपस में होता तो कितनी बड़ी व्यवस्था करनी होती।
राइट सर, राइट सर।
तो नेक्स्ट नॉर्मल वी डोंट नो, बट दिस इज आल्सो गुड इन कंट्री लाइक इंडिया, जिसमें हमारी बड़ी विविधता है, बहुत बड़ा देश है, उच्च शिक्षा है। उच्च शिक्षा से ऊपर कुछ भी नहीं है। एमआईटी यूनिवर्सिटी से कोई बड़ा इंस्टीट्यूट हमारे देश में नहीं है। यूनिवर्सिटी से बड़ा कोई डिपार्टमेंट नहीं है। यूनिवर्सिटी हायर एजुकेशन है, टर्सरी एजुकेशन है। यूनिवर्सिटी के नीचे माध्यमिक शिक्षा होती है, उसके नीचे प्राथमिक शिक्षा होती है। लेकिन हमारे जो उच्च शिक्षा के शिक्षक हैं वो शिक्षण के साथ शोध भी करते हैं, रिसर्च करते हैं, और रिसर्च ही आपका यूएसपी है। गुड रिसर्चर इज द नीड ऑफ कंट्री लाइक इंडिया। आपने सुना होगा कि मलाला यूसुफजई, एक 17 साल की लड़की, शी गॉट द नोबेल प्राइज।
Yes, yes.
The youngest lady in the world to get the Nobel Prize.
Yes.
वो क्लासरूम में टीचिंग से नहीं पाई नोबेल प्राइज, लेकिन वो टीचिंग में ही पाई नोबेल प्राइज। तो एक टीचर कैसे गांव में, सोसाइटी में, डिफिकल्ट एरिया में, टेररिस्ट के बीच में गर्ल चाइल्ड का एजुकेशन देके शी गॉट द नोबेल प्राइज। सो दैट इज एग्जाम्पल तनिषा, कैसे हमारे शिक्षक को शिक्षा देनी चाहिए। हमारे शिक्षकों की शिक्षा क्लासरूम में, कैंपस में, लाइब्रेरी में, लैब में बैठ के देने का युग ये नहीं है। आप भी अगर कोई ऐसा अपना नाम रोशन करना चाहते हैं, कोई पुरस्कार प्राप्त करना चाहते हैं अपने जीवन में, भारत में जो शिक्षा गुरु का देश था, विश्व गुरु का देश था, तो हमारी नई पीढ़ी में भी प्रभाकर जी ऐसे शिक्षक मिल जाएंगे जिनके अंदर कम से कम तमन्ना होगी कि हम भी अपने जीवन में कुछ कर गुजरे। उनके लिए ये वर्चुअल मीडिया, ये ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम, वीडियो बेस्ड प्रोग्राम एक बहुत इफेक्टिव मीडियम हो सकता है। और हम समझते हैं कि 8 दिन में आप लोग इसको एंजॉय भी करेंगे, काफी कुछ सीखेंगे भी, काफी कुछ टेक अवे होगा। और आप जब इस प्रोग्राम के बाद अपने इंस्टीट्यूशन में जाएंगे तो निश्चित रूप से आप लोगों को बहुत सारी जो हमारे अच्छे रिसोर्स पर्संस आएंगे। प्रयास हम लोग यही करते हैं कि अच्छे लोग आ सकें, लेकिन इस समय, इस डेट, इस टाइम में कौन उपलब्ध है वो एक लिमिटेशन जरूर होता है। कैसे हमारा देश पुनः ग्लोबल नॉलेज सुपर पावर बन जाए, कैसे हम अपने स्वदेशी ज्ञान पे खाली शिक्षा न दें तनिषा, बल्कि रिसर्च भी करें। कैसे हम आत्मनिर्भर अपने ज्ञान से बने, और जब हम स्वदेशी हो जाएंगे, जब हम आत्मनिर्भर हो जाएंगे, थोड़ा हम इसलिए आपको हिंदी में बात कर रहे हैं क्योंकि आप हिंदी स्पीकिंग बेल्ट के स्टेट हैं, तो बहुत सारे हमारे शिक्षक हिंदी में, हिंदी माध्यम में कंफर्टेबल रहते हैं। हमको अपनी भाषा का उतना ही सम्मान करके बात करनी चाहिए, इसलिए हम हिंदी बात कर रहे हैं। स्वदेशी से आत्मनिर्भर, और आत्मनिर्भर बनते ही हम निश्चित रूप से एक विकसित राज्य बन जाएंगे, प्रभाकर जी, विकसित राष्ट्र बन जाएंगे। और जो हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी कहते हैं कि बाई 2047 इंडिया शुड बी ए डेवलप्ड कंट्री, अगर हमारे शिक्षक इसमें कदम से कदम मिला के चलेंगे तो शायद 10 साल पहले हम 2037 तक ही बन जाएंगे। तो इन्हीं अपेक्षाओं के साथ आप सबको पुनः पुनः धन्यवाद कि आप यूजीसी के साथ कंधे से कंधे मिला के एक प्रोग्राम कर रहे हैं। यूजीसी से अच्छा करेंगे ऐसी हम आपको शुभकामना देते हैं। और हमारा नंबर, हमारा मेल हमारे कोऑर्डिनेटर जी के पास है। एनी टाइम, एनी टीचर, इफ यू आर गेटिंग एनी डिफिकल्टी, प्लीज रिमेंबर मी। थैंक यू वेरी मच। नमस्कार।
सर आपने बहुत अच्छा मतलब इनॉग्रल सेशन में ही आपने 8 डेज के लिए आपने बांध दिया है सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स को। और रियली ये एक मेंटरशिप इनॉग्रल जो सेशन है आपका, ये बहुत ही हाईली मोटिवेटिंग रहा है सर। और ये बात बिल्कुल सही है सर। बस एक लाइन में कहना चाहूँगा कि समस्याएं तो हैं हर जगह खड़ी, समस्याएं तो हैं हर जगह खड़ी, लेकिन सफलता वही है जहाँ सोच है बड़ी। तो सर आपका बहुत अच्छे सोच के साथ और हमारी टीम भी इसी सोच के साथ आगे बढ़ रही है। एंड आई एम श्योर कि हमारे जितने भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं इस 8 डेज का जो है बहुत ही अच्छा बेनिफिट जरूर मिलेगा सर। थैंक यू सर, सो नाइस ऑफ यू।
थैंक यू
वंस अगेन सर, थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, Registrar sir. Thank you so much, Rajesh sir. आपने हमें प्रेरित किया है, हमारा मार्गदर्शन किया है, and we hope we stand by your expectation. With that note, may I request Dr. Pooja Jha, Head of Institute, Amity Institute of Information Technology, to kindly present the vote of thanks for the inaugural session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. It is my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks for this such an enlightening and inspiring inauguration session on the implementation and vision of NEP. First and foremost, my sincere gratitude to our respected Sir Professor Rajesh Sir for sparing valuable time and sharing such an insightful thoughts about the transformative role of education under NEP. So we are grateful for the wonderful thought you have shared with us, and surely we are going to get a lot of benefit by attending this FDP. I also like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, and also other dignitaries, registrars Sir, Dean Sir, and faculty members, coordinators, and all the organizing committee members for their constant support and guidance for making the session a grand success. And with this, I would like all the participants to be very much attentive during the whole session and try to gain as much as they can, because such a using this platform to gain about NEP and implement in their own institution, it will be a really a rare chance to get every expert on such a short duration of time and get the best of all the NEP things. So with that words, I like to conclude, and again my sincere thanks to sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Pooja. I think Professor Mohammed Atik must have joined, my friend. Are you there, Professor?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
क्या बात
Yes,
है।
sir. I'm very
So,
much there.
dear, welcome on this
Thank you, sir.
UGC MMT Center.
Thank
You
you.
know, Prabhakar ji, he
Sir.
trained and he is director of one of our center at Amravati University, Amravati, Baba Sahab University. So, without any taking much time, I welcome my friend Professor Mohammed Atik, and today is Bakrid, you know.
Yeah.
Such a nice good day. तो आपको बधाई हो, आप
Thank
सबको
you.
बधाई हो.
Eid
And
Mubarak.
over to Tanisha for a formal introduction to my friend Professor Mohammed, and then he will take a session. Yeah, Tanisha.
Thank you so much, sir. With that, our inaugural session comes to an end, and we start with our first technical session of the 8-day program. Before we hand over to our esteemed guest of the day, may I quickly introduce the rules and regulations of the FDP for all our participants. The FDP will be conducted in online mode from 28th May to 5th of June, 2 p.m. to 5:15 p.m. every day. There will be 2 sessions, one from 2 o'clock to 3:30 p.m. and the second one from 3:45 p.m. to 5:15. The attendance and video presence, I repeat, video presence is mandatory for all the sessions. The participants must regularly submit their daily attendance, feedback form, and the assessment responses. There will be 2 assessments conducted, one on 1st of June and the other at the end of the session. The overall participation and response, the daily response carries 20 marks each. The assessments individually carry 40 marks. So it total sums up to 100 marks, 40 plus 40 for the 2 assessments and 20 for the regular participation. The certification criteria is for people who have scored above 85% will get A plus grade. People scoring between 70 and 84% will be getting A grade. People scoring between 60 and 69% will be getting the B grade, and C grade will be awarded to people who have scored between 50 to 59%. The participants who have scored below 50 marks will not be receiving any certificate. All official documents, announcements, attendance links, updates, and instructions will be shared regularly only through the official WhatsApp group, which I believe all of you must have already joined. With that, may I extend a very warm welcome to our esteemed guests, our first speaker of this day. Sir will be speaking on NEP 2020, Information and Communication Technology. On behalf of the entire Amity University, Jharkhand, it is my proud privilege to welcome Professor Mohammad Atiq sir. He is the Program Director at UGC MMTTC, Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University from Amravati. Sir is a distinguished academician, researcher, administrator, and mentor with over 34 years of rich teaching and research experience. He is currently serving as the professor and head of Department of Computer Science and Engineering, director at UGC MMTTC SGB Amravati University. His areas of specializations include artificial intelligence, soft computing, medical image processing. His remarkable academic achievements include more than 68 research publications, 48 Scopus Index papers, 3 granted patents, 7 published patents, 5 copyrights, and 2 books authored by him. He has successfully guided around 15 PhD scholars and 2 MPhil scholars. Sir has delivered more than 106 expert lectures and has been actively contributing to curriculum development, academic reforms, NBA and NAC assessment, and research innovation. He is also associated with various prestigious professional organizations such as the Institute of Electronics and Telecommunications of Engineers, International Society for Technology in Education, Computer Society of India, International Education, IJCNN USA, among many others. His immense contribution to ICT-enabled education and research makes him the perfect expert for today's topic under NEP 2020. We are delighted and very lucky to have you amongst us, sir. May I request you to kindly take the podium. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Warm welcome, sir. Warm welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Welcome,
Director,
welcome, sir. Welcome, most welcome.
So, let me put on record my sincere thanks to the organizer and the director of MMTC, Dr. Dubey sir, and Registrar, Amity University, Dr. Prabhakar, and Dr. Tanisha ma'am for such a wonderful introduction. I am an ordinary teacher, right? Let me be very frank at this point of time. The only difference between you and me, I have spent more time in teaching than you. That may be the difference, right? Otherwise, we are at par. And I will not teach you anything. I'll talk on some aspect of this NEP 2020. And as Madam has rightly pointed out, my area of expertise is ICT, AI, and so on. Right. So as far as this session is concerned, we have got 2 parts. In the first part, because I'll be with you for approximately 180 minutes, right? Sounds a little bit challenging, but anyway, in the first part, first 90 minutes, we will just try to build some theoretical foundation. What is the role of role of ICT in teaching, learning, and so on. And in the second part, we will have some hands-on on some of these tools, right? So let me begin with a note that is few years down the line, people used to say, let's say if you are not a computer literate, you are illiterate, right? I will take that definition a little further. Uh, Allow me to speak on those lines. Okay, some of you may disagree, but let's say if you are not AI literate, okay, you will be considered as illiterate. So those days are not far away. So we need to take up this particular thing a little bit seriously. And I do agree with most of you that this is a sort of disruption which is happening in the teaching learning, or you look at any other sector. Okay, it is almost touching upon almost all the professions. So whether you are a lawyer or you are a chartered accountant or whether you are a medical practitioner, right? AI is everywhere, right? So just allow me to share my presentation first of all, and I hope that some of you may disagree. Okay, so we will definitely have some constructive discussion on those aspects of AI as well. Okay, wherein people used to say that we need to have some regulatory policy, ethical use of AI, what they call it as the responsible AI, and so on and so forth. So we'll touch upon all those aspects, right? So let me begin my deliberation with simply sharing my presentation first of all. I hope I'm loud and clear.
Yes, sir. Clear, clear.
Yeah, and I would love to interact, as Director Saab has rightly pointed out. So this session should not be a monologue. If it is a dialogue, I'll be happy to listen your view on some of these aspects. Right now, having said this, this is what is there on the agenda, and that's why I have intentionally put a slash. Okay, so instead of ICT, we'll look upon AI. Okay, AI tools for education and research. Right. Okay. So as far as the first session is concerned, this is what is there on the agenda. So we'll start from scratch. I hope all of you are comfortable in English. Okay, but I have got a multilingual support. I can speak Hindi as well. Okay, there is no problem as such for me. And we have adopted this three language formula as a nation. Okay, wherein English or one local language, say for example, I am from Maharashtra. Okay, that is there. And the third one is uh, no doubt English. Okay, but since we are talking about technology, I hope all of you will be comfortable with when I deliver in English. But let's say at any point of time, if you feel like uh, asking me to deliberate on Hindi or in Hindi, I'm ready for that. Right. So having said this, as far as this session is concerned, we will start from scratch. That is, we'll start with what they call it as what is AI. Okay, what are intelligent system? Okay, then gradually we'll move to what they call it as soft computing, and we do have on the other hand hard computing approach as well, right? So we'll just try to distinguish between these two important aspects of computing, that is soft computing and hard computing. Then gradually we'll move to what they call it as the constituents of soft computing, then maybe deep learning architecture, and probably we'll end up with some problems, right? Some problems. I'll not say all. Okay, again, it is not possible to cover all those things in a session of 90 minutes or so, right? So one of the biggest problem with this technology is what they call it as the black box problem in AI. So we'll just try to touch upon that particular problem as well, and probably we'll end up our session with the solution to that problem, what they call it as the explainable AI or glass box AI, or you may term it as responsible AI, and so on and so forth. Right. So before jumping into what is AI, okay, we need to understand what is human intelligence first of all. And here, I would love to interact with you. I would love to know that what is your perception about human intelligence? Why we are considered as one of the most intelligent living species on the earth. So let's say if you can unmute yourself. I don't know whether you enjoy that privilege to unmute, but if it is so, I would love to hear from you. क्या लगता है आपको? What is human intelligence? What is your take on this? Any one of you would like to comment? We are all intelligent, right? I hope I am loud and clear.
Yes, sir. According to
Yes.
me, am I
Yes.
audible? So my name is
Yes.
Bhavna.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Yeah, according to me, human intelligence is the communication, the interaction we can do between the transmitter as well as the receiver. We can say two human beings can interact,
Mhm.
but the animals, the other things cannot interact with each other. If they can interact, so they can be
Great.
intellectual and intelligent as well,
Great.
and the adaptiveness of new situation, that will be
Great.
the human
Okay.
intelligence according
Great.
to
Great.
me, sir.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah. Yeah. You have touched upon two important aspects of human intelligence. Anybody else would like to comment on this?
Maybe,
Anything
sir,
else?
I am Dr. Rambod Datta from. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yeah, sir. Please.
Yeah. Maybe it is the ability that is human are able to learn, solve
Great.
problems, think creatively, kind of
Great.
understand emotions. All those things are there in the human part,
Great. Great.
and they can apply their acquired knowledge to solve any problem.
Great. Great.
Kind of.
Great. So both of you, you have, I don't remember your name, but you have, both of you have rightly pointed out that is
My name is Dr.
human
Rambod
intelligence.
Datta. I am from MIT University, Kolkata.
Okay, from Kolkata. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there are what I thought that MIT University, Jharkhand, that is, or Ranchi, Bihar, that is the only area, but you are from Kolkata. It's great to see you all. Right. So, as you have rightly pointed out, sir, and madam, okay, it is the human's ability. So, there are basically three dimensions of human intelligence. One, as you have rightly pointed out, the learning capabilities. So we, as a human being, we can be trained in a particular domain, right? And once you have been trained in a domain, okay, you can apply your knowledge, whatever knowledge you have acquired, okay, during training or learning, into altogether new situation. That is what is the third point. That is navigate novel or challenging situation. Okay, that is the most important aspect of it. And the third dimension of human intelligence is, or third parameter or third attribute of human intelligence is reasoning capability. So whenever we take a decision on some particular aspect, okay, we have got the ability to justify how we arrived at particular answer or solution, right? So reasoning capability, learning capability, and navigating novel or challenging situation, these are the three important attributes which makes us little bit different from other, you can say, the living organisms on the earth, right? So having said this, on the similar line, let's say if we can incorporate these things into a machine, or to be very specific, into a computer, we may call that machine or that computer or that gadget as an intelligent gadget, right? So what is needed in that case, and if you think in these lines, okay, how you will define artificial intelligence? It is nothing but the study of mechanism that think and act like human. So the thinking capability is the very first part, and thinking, basically learning, thinking, and so on, and then acting upon whatever knowledge you have acquired during learning phase to some new situation, or that is, you may attribute it as acting like as a human. Okay, or to put it in very simple or straightforward word, simply any technique that enables computer to mimic human behavior, right? It is very vague and very broad definition of AI. Okay, let's say if you are able to do so, meaning thereby we are achieving up to some extent some AI capability in any gadget or in any system, right, for that purpose. So if you dig this particular definition in little bit more detail, okay, there are four important characteristics that an intelligent system must possess. Now, what are those characteristics? Okay, we'll go one by one. The very first one is what they call it as the intelligence itself. Okay, what does this mean? The system must perform some meaningful operation. Okay, some meaningful operation, just like we as a human being, we are capable of performing some meaningful operation, interpreting of information, okay, then comprehending the relation between phenomenon or object. Let's say I give you the relationship between x and y and z, so you can very well deduce or infer the relationship between x and z, right? So that is comprehension. And last but not the least is, once you have once these systems have been trained in a particular domain, they are capable of applying that knowledge, whatever they have acquired during learning or training, into altogether new conditions. Okay, so you will never ever have like a no match kind of a scenario. Okay, that we will see. Okay, while we'll look at, you can say, the evolution of systems and so on. Now, if you look at these four attributes and if you simply look around, okay, most of the you can say the manufacturers of electronic gadgets, they claim that they are having, or whatever gadget they are producing, they are all artificially intelligent. Let me give few examples. The very first example is the washing machine itself, right? Automatic, fully automatic washing machine. I don't know how many of you are aware about that. Earlier, they used to call it as that it is fuzzy enabled, okay, or artificially intelligent washing machine. Then you look at the air conditioner installed in your office or home, or maybe let's say if you look at the microwave oven, okay, or if you simply look at your mobile handset, right? Manufacturers claim that it is having some AI capability, or what they call it as the AI enabled, right? So what is it? How this technology has evolved now? How it is everywhere, right? That is what we will just try to understand. Having said this, okay, we need to understand what is the how this particular technology has evolved. Okay, how this technology has evolved. Okay, so there are four phases, and as far as this session is concerned, we will touch upon all these four aspects of AI. Okay, the early era of AI is what they call it as the traditional AI, and most of us, we feel that this is altogether new technology. But if you look at the historical perspective of this technology, this term, that is AI, was very first time tossed by John McCarthy way back in 1956, and where the event was, I should say, the Dartmouth workshop of AI, which took place in Dartmouth, United Kingdom. Right, it is an institute at present. Again, it is there, but there, this fellow, that is John McCarthy, he attended that conference and he has come up with this idea of AI. So this is not at all new. Okay, and if you look at the, you can say, the roots of this technology, for example, the gradient descent or other, you can say, the mechanism which are typically used. Okay, and if you look at their history, you will be surprised to note that the gradient descent, whatever philosophy it uses for teaching learning purpose, or so for training purpose, the roots of that theory lies in 1880. So it is not at all new. But what has happened over last maybe 20 years, okay, we are capable of producing uh, very fast hardware, and that has made the development of AI based application, okay, at a quite large scale. And that is now, all of us, we are feeling the heat. Okay, we are feeling the heat. That is how it is happening. Okay, how it is happening, and that too with such a tremendous speed. Okay, having said this, let us begin with, you can say, the very first one, that is what they call it as the traditional AI. So what is traditional AI? Okay, we'll just try to understand. Okay, the traditional AI it is basically, it gives the computers the ability to do tasks that traditionally only humans have been able to do. Okay, for example, let's say you want to build and what was the approach which was typically used for the development of these systems? These systems were earlier referred to as what they call it as the expert systems. And why they used to call those systems as an expert system? Because for the development of those expert system, okay, the development strategy was contact the expert in that domain. Okay, ask him or her how do they solve or address a particular problem, and just try to translate those things into a simple if then else rules. Okay, and fit all those rules, or program all those rules with the help of some high level language like say Lisp or Prolog. Okay, and just automate that job. Okay, so asking the human expert how do they do it, write down if then else rules, and explicitly programs, that is, write down if then else statements in some or the other high level language into the computer. Okay, the typical examples of these expert systems are playing chess. Okay, you must have heard about computers playing against world chess champion. Okay, then homeopathy expert, maybe washing machine, as I said, right? So in case of washing machine, one small microcontroller chip, what do? They design some 27, 30 odd rules and embed all those rules into that microcontroller chip, okay, and put that microcontroller in action. What it will do, it will take control of all the gadgets installed into that machine, and it will automate that job, right? So that was the strategy, traditional AI. But there were some limitations with regard to this traditional AI. What were those limitations or issues? The very first issue was it was time intensive. Why? Let's say if you are dealing with medical diagnosis, okay, so in that case, maybe the rule base may be quite high, maybe 10,000 odd rules, okay, so which may lead to definitely for processing all those rules, okay, it will consume certain amount of time. So that's why I'm said time intensive. Then it does not generalize to new situations. Say for example, some system which you have developed wherein and you are facing a COVID-19 kind of a scenario, and if you fed all those kind of symptoms, what it will do, it will say, I'm sorry, okay, it is beyond the scope of my rule base, I am unable to diagnose, something like that, okay. So it does not generalize to new situation. That was the bottleneck associated with this traditional AI system. That's why there were only limited application of these expert systems. Okay. Then the another important aspect of this traditional AI was, that is, as I said, that these systems were built using interaction with the human expert, okay, and then translating those things in the form of if then else rules. But when you interact with some human expert, it is human tendency, that is, we never speak the truth, I should say, or the things in complete manner, okay, so we know more than we tell, right? That is one of the biggest problem or hurdle in the development of these systems. Then we cannot write down rules for all possible situations. Let's say if you are dealing with a very simple problem, in case of a washing machine, only 3-4 parameters, okay, it's a bit easier to devise rules, 27 or 30 rules. But let's say if you are dealing with a very complex problem wherein the number of parameters are in hundreds or in thousands, then it may lead to what they call it as the combinatorial explosion, right? So which is again bit difficult to handle with computers, right? So as to address these issues, what has happened, okay, we move to what they call it as the second phase of this technology, what they call it as machine learning, okay. So if you look at the historical perspective, the traditional approaches, mathematical models were there, black boxes, number crunching, rule-based system, which I have already told you. The biggest problem was large rule bases. All these issues were there with regard to this traditional AI. Then what has happened? We move to what they call it as the machine learning. So before I move ahead with machine learning, anyone who would like to comment on what is machine learning? What is your perception about machine learning? What do you feel machine learning is all about? How many of you are from computer science? Okay, great. Then Navneet, Ashish, if I'm not wrong, sir. Right? Apart from you, maybe around 50% participants are then from computer science. Then they may find some of these stuff, okay, little bit very fundamental. Okay, maybe first 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes or so. But those who are not from computer science, they may take it in that way. Okay, so machine learning, the idea was, instead of explicitly programming or instead of explicitly telling the computers what to do, what do we do in this case? We provide computers with lots of examples of inputs and outputs. Okay, that is what they call it as the data set. Okay, let's say you are dealing with handwritten numerals. So you must have extracted some around 40, 45 odd features from the handwritten numerals. Okay, those features we will fed in as an input, and for each feature, each set of 40 features, we will specify some output for that. Okay, that is what they call it as the input output data set, and ask the computer to learn on its own, okay, by using some or the other statistical techniques. Now there are many statistical techniques for learning that data, or for establishing more specifically the relationship between the input and the output. Okay, so what do we do in this case? We provide, instead of writing programs, we provide computers with input output data set, and ask it to learn by using some statistical technique. Okay, that is what is machine learning is all about. Now, there are n number of things possible here. Okay, the techniques are like, say, linear regression, and these are all quite old techniques like logistic regression, classification and regression, support vector machine. Okay, these are little bit jargon. You may feel, some of you, those who are from arts and humanities or maybe from some other discipline, but no need to worry. Okay, we'll make the deliberation as simple as possible, because our idea is to learn how this technology has evolved and how to use it. Okay, so we are end user. Okay, we'll not go into the, you can say, the lot of technical aspects of it. Okay, so support vector machine, then random forest, then I've talked about, I think, gradient descent. So if you look at gradient descent and the history of gradient descent, the story is probably it is in 1880, right? So if you look at the historical perspective of this gradient descent approach, okay, so it is not at all new. The only thing is that it has matured in the recent past. Okay, and neural network is rather the most popular one now, which is being used by almost all the large language models, whatever we are using nowadays. Okay, like, say, ChatGPT and so on. Right. Now, we will just try to understand the basics of neural network. Again, will not go into the details of those aspects, but because we need to understand, because when you are dealing with, you can say, the LLMs, okay, you need to know what these neural networks are and how do they function. Okay, what is training, supervised, and so on. So those aspects will cover, again, not in very detail. Okay, very abstraction level will be very high in that case. Okay, so again, with machine learning, having said this, machine learning, there were some issues. And what were those issues? The only problem with regard to this machine learning was we have to have what they call it as the structured data. Now, what do I mean by structured data? That is the data which can be numeralized. Okay, so we have to have numbers. Let's say, for the sake of example, if you are dealing with some medical diagnostic software or a experts or a program. Okay, so in that case, some of the parameters values are in numbers. Okay, and some of the parameter values are in text. So what we need to do is we need to convert that text into numbers. Okay, but essentially the biggest issue was we have to have structured data. Okay, the structured data, that is the data which can be numeralized. Okay, so for doing so, okay, there is a small technique, what they call it as, which is typically used, what they call it as the pre-processing of data. Pre-processing meaning, thereby, to put it in very simple words, let's say if there are certain the value of body temperature you are getting in 3 digits or 2 digits. So what do? They divide it by some constant. Okay, divided by 10. Okay, or divided by, let's say, if it's a 3-digit number, divided by 1,000. If it is a 4-digit number, divided by 10,000, and so on. Okay, and what is the ultimate aim? Ultimate aim is to get the values between 0 and 1. And that is what the pre-processing is called as. That is, we get the normalized values of all those features. Okay, so this is machine learning, right? So the biggest issue was the structured data. Okay, the data which can be numeralized. Okay, now here again we'll just try to distinguish. Okay, within few minutes. Okay, when it comes to computer science, there are two approaches in which we can solve any particular problem. Either we use hard computing, and the second one is what they call it the AI-based approach or the soft computing approach. Right? We need to understand, okay, the difference between these two. Hard computing, we all know, that is nothing but the traditional AI and so on. Okay, wherein you have precise values of the parameters. Okay, precise models are deployed in this case. Whereas in case of soft computing, okay, what happens is we, instead of using precise value, we use approximate model or approximate reasoning. Okay, let me give one simple example to make this particular idea a little bit clear. Okay, let's say human decision making is always based on approximation. Say, for example, you are on a highway and you want to overtake a car which is just in front of you. So what do? How do you take this decision? Okay, whether you will get down, ask the other fellow to stop, and then you will, with the help of a measuring tape, you will measure the exact amount of space available to you, and then you push the accelerator. Or the other way around, you simply look around, okay, you feel that approximately sufficient space is available, and then you push the accelerator. I'm not saying that that decision, okay, which you took based on approximate value is always right. Okay, it may be right, it may be right or wrong, right? So possibilities are there, but we take most of our decision. Or assume yourself that you are in a parking lot and you want to park your vehicle. So for that purpose, again, you will never ever get down and you will measure the amount of space available to you for parking. Rather, you take decision based on approximation. That decision is again subject to right or wrong. But our almost all the decisions are based on approximation. So that is being exploited in case of this soft computing. Okay. And we use approximate reasoning. We use functional approximation and randomized search. These are the typical differences. And another basic difference between hard computing and soft computing is, in case of hard computing, we use bivalent logic. You must have heard that computers basically can understand only the values, only the language of 0 and 1. Either something is true or something is false. But in case of soft computing, we are not talking a bivalent logic. Rather, we are talking about a multivalent logic. So either something is true, something is false. That is inclusive, but we do have values between 0 and 1. Now we are exploring the possibilities of all those values, and that's why it is called as the multivalent logic. That's why it is said that this soft computing approach, it was a paradigm shift from the conventional way we used to solve problems using computers, or the hard computing approach. So it was a paradigm shift. It was a complete paradigm shift, right? Now let us define soft computing. Now I'm going little technical in this case, but again we'll just try to understand it, okay, as and we'll make it as simple as possible so that everybody can understand it. So what is soft computing? It is the symbiotic use of many emerging problem solving disciplines. And from that definition itself, you can very well understand that's why we find application of this technology everywhere. Okay. Many emerging, rather I'll make it as all emerging problem solving discipline. Okay, that would be the right proposition for that. And how it has been defined by the father of soft computing, Professor Zadeh, right? Lutfi Ali Zadeh is called as the father of soft computing. He has defined the soft computing as, it is in contrast to traditional hard computing. That is what I was saying, that it was a paradigm shift. Okay, it was a complete paradigm shift from the way we used to solve problems using computer. So it is in contrast to traditional hard computing. Soft computing exploits the tolerance for imprecision. So we are dealing with imprecise knowledge, uncertainty, and partial truth. We'll go one by one. Imprecise knowledge, I have given you, cited one example, okay, that is parking a car or maybe overtaking a car and so on and so forth. Okay, wherein you don't have precise knowledge, or a washing machine, once again, you may consider that as a imprecise knowledge, but still you are washing clothes, right? Okay, so uncertainty, word is full of uncertainties, and partial truth. Why I'm saying partial truth? Okay, earlier our philosophy was either something is true or something is false. Now, we are not talking about something is true or something is false. Rather, we are talking about partial truth. Now, what does this mean? Partial truth meaning thereby it is true to the degree of some truthfulness. Okay, let me give you one example. Okay, probably which will make your idea a little bit clear. Say, for example, if you are using a traditional approach or a hard computing approach, and you are classifying based on the age of a person, somebody as young, middle age, or old. So 0 to 30, you are saying young guy. 30 plus, you are declaring that fellow as 30 to 40, you are declaring him or her as a middle-aged person. And if somebody is 40 plus, you are declaring that fellow as an old person. Okay. Now let us assume that somebody's age is 40 years and 1 day, or 40 years or 5 days, or let us assume 40 years or few months, 2 or 3 months. If you are using hard computing approach or a traditional approach, okay, there is no other way around, right? You will declare that guy as an old person. But do you really feel that it is justice with that person to declare him or her as an old person? The answer is a big no, right? So right proposition would be, maybe you can declare that fellow as 95% middle age and 5% old. And that is what is this partial truth is all about, right? So what do we do in this case? We draw two perpendicular and declare. So we don't have sharp boundaries here. We do not have sharp boundaries here. Just like we have sharp boundaries in case of hard computing or traditional approach. Okay, we do not have sharp boundaries here. Okay, rather we have, you can say, unsharp boundaries. Okay, and what is the advantage of having this kind of a setup is to devise or design solutions which are tractable, robust. I'm saying low cost. Why I'm saying low cost? 700, 800 rupees microcontroller is enough to convert a dumb machine, washing machine, into an intelligent, fully automatic washing machine. Okay, so that 1,000 rupees is more than enough to convert a machine from a semi-automatic to a fully automatic intelligent washing machine, and better report with reality, definitely, because this is how we decide. Okay, even if, let's say, if you are washing clothes with your own hand, okay, how do you decide? Okay, that is which mechanism to apply, how much detergent is to be mixed. It is based on approximation. Okay, you don't have very hard-coded rule that you will mix this much and that much and this much cold and this much, right? So it will wash anyway. What I'm trying to emphasize is it is better report with reality. Okay, that is how we take decisions and so on. Now, if you look at soft computing, these are the four constituents, and the objective will remain same because, as I said, this is nothing but AI. Okay, so mimicking human linguistic reasoning, and these are the four building blocks of this soft computing: fuzzy systems, neural networks, evolutionary computing, and probabilistic reasoning. Okay, now each one of them, it is good in some or the other area. For example, fuzzy systems are fantastic when you are dealing with imprecise knowledge. Okay, neural networks has got the capability to learn. Okay, learning capabilities are due to neural networks. Okay, and these neural networks are playing a vital role. If you look at any of the tool, okay, they are learning. All GPTs, LLMs, okay, they are using at the bottom neural networks for the learning purposes. We will have a detailed look at those aspects. Then probabilistic reasoning when you are dealing with uncertainty. Okay, evolutionary computing when you are dealing with optimization. But let's assume that if you are dealing with a complex problem, you may use a combination of any two or three of these models. Okay, you may have fuzzy neuro or neuro fuzzy or probabilistic reasoning fuzzy systems and so on, depending upon the complexity and requirement of that particular problem. Having said this, we will just try to understand one important aspect. Okay, whenever we talk about computing, the very first things comes to our mind is that is we are dealing with numbers. So computing with numbers, we are all grown up with. Okay, we are almost every one of us know that is whenever we say that we are computing, meaning thereby we are dealing with numbers. Now I am trying to put an important aspect here. That is, let's say if you want to compute and compute with words. Okay, to be very specific, is it possible to compute with words? Okay, so we'll just try to understand this simple concept. Okay, with the help of a pretty simple example. Okay, let us assume that I'm giving you some information, or rather, I'm making some statement with regard to a lady called Rekha, and we want to compute her age. Okay, so what is Rekha's age is the question under consideration. Okay, and with regard to the lady called Rekha, I'm providing you some information. And what is that information? Proposition P1 says that she has a son in mid-20s, and proposition P2 says that she has a daughter in mid-30s. Okay, and the third one is the word knowledge. What is the word knowledge? Which is usually mother's age at birth of child is between asterisk 20 or asterisk 20 for short, or approximately 40 or asterisk 40 for short. Now, my question is, now here I would love to interact with you. Is it possible to compute Rekha's age? If yes, what is her age? I'll take a pause. Okay. You can think over and you can come up with the answer.
Yes, we can predict that would be the around 50.
Sorry. Around 50.
Yes, we can predict as the Rekha's age will be in the around 45 to 50.
Around 45 to 50. Okay.
55.
Okay.
45 to 55.
Okay. 45 to 55. Great. You must have applied some logic. Okay. Now let us assume that I want to solve it with computers. How we can achieve this? How we can achieve this? Let us assume that the same problem, I'm not giving you any numbers. Okay. If I'm
Yes.
giving you numbers, you can very well add, subtract, multiply, divide, whatever operations are needed, and you can very well compute. Okay, I'm giving you, rather I'm making some English-like statements. Okay, I'm making some English-like statement. Okay, which are in natural language, or to be very specific, this is a natural language. Okay, English, natural language, and we want to process this natural language. So, how you will proceed? Whatever you said, it is absolutely right. Okay, there's nothing wrong in that. Okay, but how you will process it with the help of a computer? Anyone of you would like to comment on this? See, again, why I'm asking question is to simply involve you in the discussion. There is no other reason. I know you are all right, knowledgeable person, but the objective is to simply involve you in the discussion. There is no other reason. I do not want to test your knowledge, right, or your abilities, but how you will process this with the help of a computer. So what we need to do is, okay, we need to convert these English-like statement into what they call it as the computation-ready word. We can do it quite easily with the help of a very small operation, what they call it as speciation. Okay. So we will appreciate this proposition and we will translate this information set I into I star, which we'll call it as a appreciated set. Okay. So I will translate into I star, P1 into P1 star, P2 into P2 star, and P3 into P3 star. And let's see what happens next. Okay, so very first statement which I have made with regard to the lady called Rekha is she has a son in mid-20s. So you can very well appreciate this proposition as age son is asterisk 25. Done. Right. On the similar line, she has a daughter in mid-30s. So age daughter is asterisk 35. And the third proposition, which is a word knowledge, what is it? Proposition P3, that is usually mother's age at birth is between 20 to 40. So this can be appreciated as age mother at birth is usually asterisk 20 comma asterisk 40, that is between 20 and 40. Okay, now we are getting numbers. Okay, you will be surprised to note, right? Now you are translating those things into numbers. Okay, now you have got numbers in your hand. Okay, so you can very well process it. Now you can apply what they call it as an aggregation function. Age rekha is asterisk 25 plus usually asterisk 20 comma asterisk 40. Fusion asterisk 35 usually asterisk 20 comma asterisk 40. So maybe as you have rightly said, 25 plus 20 comes out to be lower bound 45 and upper bound 35 plus 20 is 55. I hope you have understood it, right? So what does this mean? It is possible to compute with words. Again, this concept was very first time tossed by Professor Lutfezadeh. Okay, when he tossed a again very motivational stories behind that paper. When he read out a paper in some international conference which took place in USA. Okay, you can Google it. Okay, is Lutfizadeh's motivational story. Okay, when he tossed this term, okay, what has happened? That conversation was shared by Rudolf Kalman, okay, who was supposed to be one of the renowned system analysts, system scientists those days. So he criticized Professor Zadeh's work that this fellow has gone mad. Okay, he don't know ABC of computing, and he is talking something rubbish, or he is involved in some daydreaming, or what we call it as Indian context, Mungeri Lal ke sapne. and whatnot. But later on, this small concept has given birth to what we call it as the natural language processing which exists as on date. So this is NLP only, right? So NLP only. Now, having said this, it is possible to compute with words, right? Now, I will not go into these details, that is appreciation, what is it, and how to convert it. So, what you need to do is you need to model any problem which deals with NLP kind of a setup. Okay, you need to model it, and appreciation is nothing but the modulation and so on. Now, this has given solution to what they call it as the natural language based systems, okay, wherein you have n number of things, I tell you. There are numerous solutions to problems, okay. And one real life example, all of us, we are witnessing every now and then, is what they call it as the chatbots, right? Whenever you visit any website, you will find some Siri or something else will pop up, okay, and it will try to respond to your queries. So 90% of the queries are handled by these chatbots. Okay, in the back end, you have what we have discussed just now. Okay, now let us move ahead. Okay, somewhere I think I have told you machine learning, and then I think how do these machine learning programs learn? They learn from the data which is basically given to them as input, and that data has to be neuralized. Okay, and how do they learn? They learn from some or the other statistical techniques. Okay, so while talking about the statistical techniques, starting from gradient descent to many things, okay, bottom somewhere neural network was there. Okay, so we need to learn, okay, about these neural networks little bit. Okay, we need to know. Okay, let's try to digest this, what these neural networks are all about. So these neural networks is basically, it is inspired from your structure of your human brain, okay, biological brain. Okay, on the similar line, these artificial neural networks have been built. Okay, so what is it? It is a circuit composed of a very large number of simple processing elements that are neurally based. Okay, I'll give you the exact example, but before directly jumping into the architecture and so on, okay, we need to know some peculiar characteristics of these neural networks. Now, what are the peculiar characteristics? They are capable of acquiring knowledge, okay, knowledge acquisition, storing that knowledge somewhere. Time being, we need to assume, as a matter of fact, it is kept in weights, and utilizing that knowledge for some decision making. So knowledge acquisition, storing that knowledge, okay, in case of biological or in case of human brain, that is stored in what they call it as the synaptic strength. Okay, each neuron is having some or the other synaptic strength, and that is how we recall our memories and so on. Okay, and it is connected with each other in very complex structure. Okay, millions of neurons. Okay, and they contribute to the output. So, for example, I am throwing some object towards you. What you will do, you will just try to save, but you will look at that object, and your brain will start computing that is how much time it will take, and accordingly you safeguard yourself. So this is happening in a real time mode. Okay, on the similar line, this knowledge acquisition, storing that knowledge, and utilizing that knowledge, these are the particular characteristics. Application areas of neural networks, you name the area, I tell you, it is there. Okay, this is a very, you can say, representative representation of very few things have been listed out here. Linguistic, philosophy, you name the area, it is there, right? Now, how it has been, it is, as I said, it is inspired from a biological neuron. Now, this is the structure of a biological neuron, wherein we have a nucleus, okay, at the center. This is called as the cell body, and the input is given through these dendrites, okay, dendrites to the cell. Okay, then cell will carry out some sort of computation, and whatever is the output, it goes to the next neuron through this axon. Okay, so this is output zone, this is input zone, and in cell body we carry out some computation. Okay, and this way the millions of neurons, they are connected with each other. Okay, millions of neurons are connected with each other. On the similar line, we have an artificial neural net. Okay, now what is it? Just like we were having some nucleus over there. So these X1 and X2 are the neurons. Okay, with each neuron there is a synaptic weight associated, that is represented by small w. Okay, so X1 W1, X2 W2. For simplicity, in this case, we are having only two neurons. Okay, and then what do we do during training or learning? We just try to learn this equation. Okay, these systems will try to learn some kind of relationship between the input and the output. Okay, as if you recall, I have told you that is we need to give some numeralized data in the form of input-output data pair. Okay, so that pair we are giving as the input. Okay, and we are letting this ANN to learn from that input-output data pair and establish some kind of equation. Okay, this is just for the sake of simplicity we are taking here. That is y is equal to 0.32 x1 plus 0.77 x2. So if you recall, that is the problem associated with the traditional AI was it was not in a position to generalize. Okay, now since we have got this equation, you simply replace this x1 and x2 by anything. Okay, for training data, we will use some data set, but we may give altogether new data set. Okay, altogether new data as an input and ask it to classify. It will come up with some or the other answer. Okay, for example, in case of a medical diagnosis, you give COVID-19 symptoms, it will diagnose. That diagnosis may be right or wrong. It will not exactly come up whether it is COVID-19, but it will never ever say that it is beyond the scope of just we used to have in case of a traditional AI. But that is the beauty of this. Okay, that is they have got that capability to learn. Okay, and take decision. Again, human decisions are subject to right or wrong. Okay, whenever you approach some doctor, okay, they diagnose some XYZ disease, and then let's say if you are not convinced, what do? You approach for a second opinion to another medical practitioner, okay, for a confirmatory test or whatever, right? And then you proceed further, right? So this is how it works. Okay, now this is a very simple structure which I have shown you just now, but it is not that simple. It is not that way all the time. Okay, rather we have x0 to xn inputs. Okay, and similarly we have with each x0 we have a w0 to wn. Okay, say for example you are dealing with handwritten numerals and you are extracting 40 odd features from the numerals. So x0 to x39 will be your inputs. And what about the output classes? In case of handwritten numerals, 0 to 9, 10 classes. All right. So this way you will train it, and during training, what do? We simply multiply this x0 to w0. That's why this is summation is there. Okay, x0 w0 plus x1 wn, and so on up to xn wn, and then it passes through some nonlinearity. Well, now we'll not go into the details of this activation function and so on. It will be difficult for most of you to digest. Those who are from computer science, they very well know, but others will find it difficult. So timing, you can assume that there are some activation function. Most popular one was what they call it as the sigmoidal function. Then ReLU is there, and so on, right? So we'll not talk about those things at this point of time. What is our objective? Our objective is to learn, that is how these neural networks learn. So we start with some inputs, okay, and some random value of weight. So as I said, between 0 and 1, so we'll start with a median, that is 0.5, let us assume. Okay, 0.5 in the first run, and then we observe the output against the desired output. Let's say 1.0 is your desired output, and actual output you are getting is 0.8. Now in the next run, what you will do, you cannot change the input. So what you are supposed to change is you can only vary the value of these weights. Now there are two possibilities. Either you can increase it or you may decrease it. So let us try to increase it. Okay, make it 0.6, all the weights. Again, observe the result. Let's say if you are getting in this case the answer as 0.9, meaning thereby 1 point, earlier it was 1.1 minus 0.8. So 0.2 was the error. Now that error is getting reduced by 0.1. It is 0.9 now. So what does this mean? We are in the right direction. So we go on increasing the weight, value of weight. So from 0.6 to 0.65, 0.7, 0.75, and so on, till we get the minimum value of error, or theoretically speaking, zero error. Okay, and at that point of time, we will stop training. Okay, this is a very broad picture I am giving you. Right. So at that point of time, we'll stop training, and we declare that the training is over. Now you can test this structure with any new input. It will give you fantastic answers, and you will be surprised to note that when it comes to predictions or classification, neural networks are the best. Right? They will give you answers like anything with better accuracy than human being. I tell you, right, many times, and you will start because the computation power is tremendous, and then the things are moving with a jet speed in this area. Okay, so this is how this training is all about, right? So there are certain things which are used, what they call it as a per sample training, updating, then per training set updating, that is what they call it as the epoch or iteration. This is one input to output is known as one iteration or one epoch. So this way you may set 500 epoch, 1000 epoch, 10,000 epoch, and so on. Okay, till the training is over, right? Now, how one neural network is attached with the next one, okay, that will determine the architecture of that network. Again, we will have a cursory look, we'll not go into the detail, but setting up the weight, I have already told you, activation function we have talked about. Now, this is one input, one output, single layer feed forward, only one input layer, one output layer, right? In this case, we have got one input, one output, and one hidden layer. Now, don't ask me that, sir, how many hidden layers we must have, or how many neurons in each hidden layer we must have. That all depends upon your experimentation. So there is no thumb rule, or there is no hard coded rule that for these many neurons in the input layer, these many output neurons you must have, these many hidden layer neurons you must have, and so on, right? So there's nothing like that. Okay, you need to trial and error. Okay, simply go on experimenting, and wherever you get the optimal values, at that point you need to stop, right? So there are numerous architectures. Again, only few are depicted here, 5, 6, but there are hundreds. Okay, there are hundreds. Okay, now let us see what is input layer. Okay, input layer, what is the functionality? Receive the initial data. Hidden layer, they are typically used for providing the non-linearities, and output layer, it produces the final result. Okay, for this is this best possible, simplest manner I am trying to put the things in the proper context, right? Input layer, the objective is to receive initial data. Hidden layer, providing non-linearities. Okay, and output layer is producing the final result. That's all. Again, there are three basic training strategies: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. Supervised, when you have labeled data, input output data pair. Unsupervised, when you have unlabeled data, that is, you know the input but you don't know the output. Okay, input is known to you but output is not known to you. Reinforcement is learning through trial and error. Okay, that is, you may call it as when your small kids learn how to walk or how to talk. Okay, that is the strategy, trial and error. Okay, so learning through trial and error, and this is typically used by all the large language models. Okay, this is being exploited, some or the other variant, I am not saying, but on the bottom line it is reinforcement training, right? So some or the other variant of reinforcement training is used by all the large language model, like say ChatGPT and so on, right? Now let us move to the third block. Okay, we have talked about traditional AI. Then the second important aspect was machine learning. Okay, that too in greater detail, wherein we have explored neural networks in particular. Okay, we have not talked about the SVM and other aspects, but neural network in particular. Let us see what is deep learning. Again, very broader perspective, will not go into the detail. Okay, this term was tossed way back in 2006, so 20 years have passed. Why it is called deep learning? It is basically machine learning, but why deep? Because there are hundreds of layers of neurons. Okay, and that's why the name deep. There is no other reason why it is called as deep learning architecture, right? It is also called as feature learning, okay, and so on and so forth, right? So deep number of the due to the complexity. Okay, there is no other reason. Okay, and again, there are different levels. Okay, higher level, lower level, and those things. It is also known as representation learning. That is the another name given to this. Now we'll look at it from the input output modalities. That was our objective earlier as well. That is, in case of traditional AI, what we have seen, numeralized data. Okay, then machine learning we have seen. I'm sorry, traditional AI, what was the input modality? Anyone of you would like to comment? Okay. In case of machine learning, it was numeralized data or labeled data. Okay. Deep learning, it is structured or unstructured data. What do I mean by structured or unstructured data? Numeralized data is nothing but the structured data wherein you have values in the forms of numbers. But let's say if you are giving images as an input, it is called as unstructured data. Okay, like images, etc. All right. What is the output modality in this case? Output modality is once again structure. Okay. Now I'll give you one typical example of this, which you are using in your day-to-day life. Is simply look at your mobile phone. Okay, wherein you have got some face recognition feature available in it. Okay, so whenever you purchase a new handset, what do? You train it by exposing your face through different angles. Okay, it captures certain features from your face, store them in some algorithm. Okay, and whenever again you try to switch it on, okay, what it does, it simply matches those features with the stored features. And if you are a legitimate user, it will unlock your mobile phone, or the other way around, it will say, sorry, unable to recognize your face. Right. So unlocking mobile through face recognition is the typical example of deep learning. So some deep learning algorithm is running in your mobile handset. Right. So DL is a part and parcel of your life. So you cannot say that we are not using AI. You are using it, right? Knowingly, unknowingly, but it is there, right? Now there are different architecture: generative DL architecture, discriminative is there, and hybrid is there. So hybrid is a combination of generative and discriminative, but we will focus on generative only. Okay, generative only. But before moving into what is generative AI, okay, we need to know what, even though it is a small subset. Now, if you just recall, AI is an umbrella term. Okay, AI is a superset. Then you have the another subset of AI is the machine learning. Under machine learning, you have another subset, what they call it as the deep learning. Under deep learning, we have another layer, what we call it as a generative AI. Okay, so it is a smallest subset of this technology AI, right? But what is the power of this AI, the generative AI in particular? These tools or these systems are capable of creating new original content. Let's say you want to write a research paper, you can do it quite easily using these tools. But whether you should do it, the answer is a big no, right? It is a big no. Why I'm saying big no? Because you are making some compromises on ethical front. Okay, right? So it is not at all advisable to use it for writing a research article. But these tools are having that capability, right? They can create new original content, even images. Okay, we will have a look at these things. That is, how do they function? Or text or music. You may ask them write a you write a English like prompt and ask it to compose a music. It will compose a music for you, right? Okay, so that is the power of this generative AI, and that is where the real glitch is, right? So because this is vulnerable in terms of, uh, say, for example, innovation, creativity, right? These things were earlier associated with human intelligence. Now that is being challenged by these tools. So it is highly dangerous. So we are moving towards now. What is the solution? What do you feel? What is the solution? क्या लगता है आपको? I don't know how many of you have heard about uh, Pope's speech, maybe day before yesterday. Okay, Pope has talked about AI, wherein he said that is this AI is highly dangerous. Okay, particularly it is being used for war, right? Okay, and he said कि भाई we are moving into it. So he categorically pointed out, and he used some hash word as well. I don't remember exactly, but you can go through the news of Times of India, probably yesterday or day before yesterday. Okay, wherein uh, it was there in the headline. He said कि भाई we need to regulate this. Okay, so regulation, as on date, we have any regulatory guidelines in our country? The answer is being no. I'm not saying that the government is mum on those issues. Government is working on it. We had event, okay, AI summit as well, okay, probably in February, but they are still working on it. So in near future, definitely we will have guidelines in this regard. But guidelines are there, meaning thereby you can use it for any purpose. The answer is again no. Okay, you should not. You need to create your own guidelines, boundaries. Okay, don't use it for some unethical purposes. That is my take on this. Now, what is generative AI in terms of input-output modalities? Let's try to understand. Now, in this case, the input is unstructured. That is images, or you can give completely unstructured text or a combination of text and image, right? Anything you can give to this Gen AI. Okay, any combination, damn combination, whatever you feel appropriate. right? Multimodal, what they call it as. What about the output? Output is once again structured. So it is unstructured to unstructured. Now, what does this mean? Text to image. Okay, we'll see. That is, we'll write a prompt and ask it to create an image. It will create an image. Okay, whatever you want, right? Okay, image to text, vice versa is possible. Text to music is possible. Text to text is possible, which is the most common one. This is new normal, and what we used to call it as now. The training is happening in this online mode. This is a new normal. Okay, before COVID, we cannot imagine that is this kind of a setup is possible. Now, what is happening? This is becoming normal, right? So text to text is very common, right? But text to image, image to text to music, this is possible using this Gen AI tool. Okay, that's why I said this power of this Gen AI is multimodal text plus image, and output is once again multimodal text plus image. I hope I'm not going very fast. Are you comfortable with my speed? Anyway, so let's move ahead. Okay, let's try to move ahead. So power of this Gen AI is multimodal to multimodal. Okay, and I'm really happy to see a big number, 152 participants are there. Okay, congratulations to the MMTC and the entire MET team. Okay, because today is a holiday, if I am not wrong. I don't know about your state, but in my state, Eid celebrations are going on. So we do have a holiday here. And despite that, you are there in such a large number. Okay, so hats off to all of you, those who are present here. Right. So let's move ahead with this power of Gen AI, which I have already talked about. Now let's try to look at the darker side of this particular technology. Okay, many times people used to refer this technology as a disruptive technology. It is a disruption, okay, which is shaking almost every profession. Okay, so but just like any other technology, again we do have problems in this technology. So one of the biggest problem with this technology is what they call it as the black box problem in AI. Now, what is it? What is it? Say, for example, whenever you interact with any of these Gen AI tool, so what do? We give some prompt in the form of input to the AI system. What it does, it will carry out some sort of processing, like say thinking, analyzing. These things you must have seen while interacting with ChatGPT, and then it will give you some or the other answer. Okay, but nobody in the world knows how that tool has arrived at that particular answer. Okay, say for example, if you approach their developer or the company involved, okay, and ask them, ki, bhai, just tell me, that is, I have given this as a question and it has computed this as this particular as the answer I have got. What is the justification? Okay, they will say sorry. And why it is so? Because the complexity is so high that nobody knows that is how it has happened, right? And that's why it is referred to as a black box. Okay, that is why it is referred to as a black box. So black box meaning thereby everything is hidden to you. Okay, it is very complex and it is hidden to you. It is hidden to the user. Okay, so and that is why it is called as a black box problem. Okay, so this leads to a lot of issues. What they call it as, let's say if you are using it for medical diagnosis. Okay, it is diagnosing some disease. Okay, and if something goes wrong, to whom you will sue? Okay, whether you will sue the company who has developed it, or you will sue the you can say the development team who was involved in the development of that particular tool, or what else. So as on date, we cannot do anything, right? Okay, we are not supposed to sue anybody, right? Because you are using, there is always a disclaimer whenever you use this sort of tool, that is, you should not heavily rely on these tools. Okay, and it is right now in a beta version only, most of those tools. Okay, so it is up to you to decide. Okay, so it's not possible to sue anybody, right? So lack of accountability is there, then unpredictability is there. You get unpredictable answers. Okay, and that is what are our complaints as a user most of the time. Okay, and let's say if you are using it for military, okay, or maybe for you can say some medical diagnosis. Okay, it is highly dangerous. Okay, it is highly dangerous. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to fully regulate, trust and regulate this technology. Okay, and so on. Okay, that is the solution. Time you may assume. I'll come to the exact solution at the end of the session. But let us take a recap of Gen AI once again. So we were talking about creating new original content, images, text, or music. Okay, now how to use it, rather how to compare this AI versus Gen AI. Okay, so creativity and innovation. This is, I think, which I have talked about just now. That is, these things were earlier associated with human intelligence. Now that is being challenged by this Gen AI tool. Right. Now look at the application areas: content creation, game design, simulation, text to image generation, and whatnot. Okay. So ultimately, Gen AI, we are using some or the other tool, right? And technically, these tools are categorized under the category what they call it as the large language model, or LLM in short. Okay, what is LLM? Let us try to understand. LLM is a neural network which is trained to predict the next term in an input sequence. See, now, that's why it was essential for us to understand. Let's say if I would have taken you directly to the LLM, okay, then the neural network. So what is neural network? Now we know what is neural network. So it is basically a neural network, and which has been trained to predict the next term in an input sequence. So for example, if I give all that glitters, okay, so to a LLM tool or a chat GPT, it will come up with the answer, say is not gold. So it is predicting, it is capable of predicting the next term in the input sequence, right? That is large language model. But how do these LLM works? Now again, here you need to correlate what we have already discussed, that is computing with words and so on. Okay, so that you will understand that is how exactly these things are. So there are two key characteristics of LLM. I'm sorry if I'm really fast. Okay, you please let me know. We may I may slow down my speed, but there are a lot of things which I wanted to cover. That's why I'm going a little bit fast. Okay, that is the only reason. There is nothing. There's no other reason apart from that. So what is text understanding? These LLMs are capable of understanding natural language. Okay, now we have seen, okay, how to represent certain things in natural language through advanced algorithm. Okay, that process, see, look at the power, processing the words, sentence, and it goes beyond that. That is the context. So it is, don't you feel that it is very similar to human intelligence? Uh, you must appreciate, right? So it is word, sentence, up to this is all done, but the context. Okay, these systems are capable of understanding the context in which the question or the prompt has been written. And then what do? They generate the text. And what kind of a text they generate? So these LLMs generate coherent, contextually relevant text based on the input query. Coherent and contextually relevant. Okay, if you get irrelevant text, you will not use that particular tool. And that is the real power of these large language models. Now, how do these LLM works? There are 5 steps. We'll go very fast. The very first step is the tokenization. So let's say in a prompt you have written 15 odd words. So each word will be considered as token for simplicity. Many times it is more than that. Say for example, if apostrophe s you have used or ees you have used, so the meaning changes. Okay, but so it will increase the token count. But for simplicity, you can assume that the number of words are number of tokens. Okay, and why they are called as token in LLM language? Because the licensing mechanism is in terms of tokens. Okay, so it is in terms of tokens and in terms of days duration as well as token. Okay, right? Then embedding tokens are converted into numerical vectors. That's why I said, right, now we need to convert those tokens, those words, into numbers so that it can be processed by the computer, right? Then self attention, the model assesses which parts of the text are most important. Okay, just like let's say if you are in an examination hall, okay, you know that there is a question which carries 6 marks, so explain this and then justify. So you very well know that for explanation 4 marks are there and 2 marks are dedicated for justification. So what do you do while crafting the answer? You will craft it that way. Okay, you will not only talk about the explanation, but at the end you will write, because you very well know that if you miss the justification part, your 2 marks will be 0, right? So self-attention, these tools has got that capability. Then predictive capability, that is they predict the next word which I have told you. That is all that glitters is not gold. That is by default, it is there. And then what do? They generate the response. Okay, they generate the response, predicting, stringing together relevant words in a coherent manner. And that is how you get the responses on the screen. So now what is left in our hand? Now we don't have anything other than to write or craft a precise prompt. And this has given birth to a complete new area of engineering, what they call it as the prompt engineering. Okay. Do you want a break? Say yes or no. I've got only 15 to 20 minutes stuff remaining with me, but let's say it should not happen that you start sleeping. Okay. I don't know what you are doing at your end, but just be frank enough. If you want a break for 10 to 15 minutes, you can take a break, but without disconnecting. That is my humble request. Okay, it will not consume a lot of data, no worries. Okay, but you remain present. If you want a break, or otherwise, I may continue. Okay, but allow me to take tea in between, because this is probably my third session, if I'm not wrong, right? Anyway, so let us continue. Prompt engineering, it refers to the practice of crafting precise input. Why I'm saying precise input? Because the licensing mechanism is in terms of tokens or prompts, right? So if you consume more tokens, okay, definitely you need to pay for it. Okay. So definitely everybody will try to optimize those words without making any compromises on the responses or the answers, right? And that is what is prompt engineering is all about in a broader perspective, right? Okay. Now there are various ways and means in which you can write. So we'll not see all the prompting techniques, but only few will just try to have a look at. So very first one is called as the zero-shot prompting. Now, what is this zero-shot prompting? Wherein you don't give an example. Okay, this is most of the time. Okay, whenever you are using these tools for the very first time, what do? You simply give a prompt, or you pose a direct question to the LLM. Okay, and without giving an example. But let's say if you give one example, the job of the LLM will be a little bit easier. Okay, let me give one example in this regard. Let us assume you want to craft a tagline for a product. Okay, product you want to launch in the market. So for marketing purpose, you want to craft a tagline for that. Okay, let us assume it is a motorcycle. Okay, Hero Honda is your competitor. Okay, and their tagline is like, say, fill it, forget it. And what you are doing, you are giving this fill it, forget it as the example. Okay, now you are asking it to craft a tagline for your own product. So what it will do, it will analyze this example, that what exactly the user want. So it will come to know that, well, not more than 4 words. Okay, each word should depict some or the other USP of that product, like say fuel consumption or something like that, and accordingly it will craft. Okay, so for say for example, even for a kid, if you give some example, okay, it will be easier for that fellow to craft the answers. Okay, because he or she will come to know exactly what your intentions are. So if this way, if you give one example, it is called as one-shot prompting. If you give more than one example, it is called as few-shot prompting, wherein you may give 2 or 3 examples. So these are the 3, you can say, important prompt engineering techniques: zero-shot, one-shot, and few-shot. Few-shot meaning there are more than one. Okay. Then we do have a role prompting, what they call it as. Okay. So you may assign a role to a LLM. Well, assume you are a vice chancellor, or assume you are a director of an institute, or assume you are a DM of a particular district, and then you ask your question. So what it will do, it will capture, or it will gather the data from those sources. Say, for example, if I'm saying, assume you are a vice chancellor of Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University, it will go through all the directions, ordinances from my website, and it will then craft the answer. So it is become, this is called as the role or persona. You may assign a role of a research assistant as well to a tool. Okay. So accordingly, it will mold the or it will craft the answer. So you will get more tailored responses in that case. Then chain of thought is there, okay, wherein you can break down a task into smaller logical step, and then give it one after another. Meta prompting, okay, wherein you are asking the tool to write own prompts for a specific task, but this requires expert level of reasoning. Okay, then tree of thought, wherein it will explore multiple possible paths. Say, for example, you are in Ranchi, I want to reach Ranchi. So what it will do, it will, from my place, it will explore all the possible paths, okay, and it will give me the most optimal path in terms of tolls, traffic, and so on, road condition, and so on. Okay, prompt chaining, that is one after another, okay, multi-step, okay, and so on. So these are only few basic which we have seen. Now there are certain parameters we must be concerned about. This we will have a look at in the second session. Okay, most of the time we are not aware, and that's why what happens, many times we get some redundant responses from the tool, and we claim that the tool is not good. Okay, it is not. Basically, we don't know how to use it. Okay, so some of the features are like, say, temperature. So what is temperature? The value of this parameter is between 0 to 2. So what you need to do, let's say if you keep it too low, the creativity will be lowest. Okay, if you want more creative responses, you need to make it either 1.5 or 2.0, wherein it will be highest. So definitely it will consume more tokens and so on, right? Then max token, which defines the length of the response. Okay, longer the token limits, it results in more detailed answer. Okay, then apart from this, we do have top P, okay, wherein how many potential words you want to have, frequency penalty is there, then presence penalty is there. If you want to avoid redundancy, many times we get redundant responses. Okay, so if you want to avoid redundancy, you can set these parameters. Okay, you can set this parameter. Okay, now let us try to conclude the very first session, how to use it for research. Probably every one of you will be keen to know, right? That is how to use it for research. But as I have already told you, that is, one should not use it for generation of ideas. Okay, writing one complete research article, okay, and giving some 5-10 odd papers, uploading those papers and asking it to generate a 11th paper. Okay, these tools are capable of doing so, but one should not use it for generation of ideas. There are two things. One is ethically it is not correct. Second important aspect is, somewhere whenever you will put that particular paper for plaque check, okay, the tools, the plagiarism tools, that is Turnitin or any other, they are equally competent to identify that stuff, and they will flag it that it is a AI generated stuff. Okay, so it will be considered as plagiarized content, right? So that's why I'm saying, don't do that. Okay, now what to do? Now how much you can utilize it for research? So you need to adhere to the guidelines given by various publishing houses. So most of the, you can say, the standard publishing houses, they are very clear on that. Say, for example, I am from engineering discipline, so we have IEEE mandates, wherein it allows you to use these tools only for editing and grammar enhancement. Okay, so excluding these two, if you use it for any other purpose, it is strictly prohibited. Okay, it is strictly prohibited. So on the similar line, you have got Springer Nature, right? Science journals, they have their own way of dealing this dilemma, right? Okay,
Sir,
so yes.
sir, please provide 15-minute breaks for the.
Just I am on my last slide. Okay, allow me for 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, not more than that. Okay,
Okay, sir, sure, sir.
we'll take a break. Okay, now these are some of the tools. Okay, just for the purpose, we'll definitely have a hands-on on few of these tools. Okay, but let me conclude with the solution. Okay, probably we have talked about, that is the problem with this technology is the black box. Okay, and the solution is what they call it as the glass box approach, or explainable AI, or responsible AI, and so on. Now, what is it exactly? Okay, on a very broader perspective, what we are doing, we are converting that black box into a transparent box or a glass box. Okay. Or simply adding up one additional component to any existing tool which talks about this uh, explainable component of it. That is how it has arrived at a particular answer. There are the research is going on in this area. There are various models. Few of them I have listed out here, Lime and Chap. Okay, but ultimate aim is the privacy and security. Okay, that is it is vulnerable in terms of that. Say for example, if you are setting up a question paper using any of these tools, don't do that, because whatever prompt you type and whatever responses you are getting, and if you are pasting it as it is vulnerable in terms of privacy and security. So we'll touch upon those aspects as well. There are some FAT framework, what they call it as the fairness, accountability, and transparency framework. Okay, which gives you solution to all these problems, right? So I'm almost done. Probably it is 2 minutes extra I have taken, right? 13:32. So we'll take a break as somebody has pointed out. Okay, so we'll take a break of 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
So 3:45 will meet. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Thank you. But don't go away. It's my humble request. Okay, be there in the meeting. Welcome back. Shall we start, or whether we can start?
Yes, sir, start, sir.
Anyway, so in the first session, okay, we have tried to build some theoretical foundation. I hope I'm loud and clear. You can hear me. Whether you can hear me?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So in the first session, as I've told you, that is, we have built some theoretical foundation of AI starting from scratch. That is, looking at how this technology has evolved, and then starting from traditional AI and then moving to what they call it as the generative AI and so on. And we have also discussed some key features of these large language models and so on and so forth. Right. Now, as I've told you, that is in the second session, we will talk, rather we will have some demonstration hands on some of these tools. Okay. And our perspective will be to look at these tools for teaching, education, and research. Okay, so these are the three aspects which we'll be looking at. But if you look at the, you can say the evolution of these tools, okay, from 2017 onwards, what has happened? We are witnessing some transformer like models, right? Transformer, you must have heard about this. Okay, very basic. Okay. Then 2020 onwards, okay, the market was flooded with what they call it as the diffusion models. Okay, wherein if you now we know everything about the fundamental aspects. So wherein we can give we these diffusion models are capable of video and image generation. Okay, not only images but video. Okay, video is another important aspect. Okay, so diffusion models and the future. Okay, now whatever we are witnessing, we are living in an era of what they call it as the AI agents. Okay, so wherein we may develop, or we may ask, or we may create agents, okay, which will work for us 24/7, AI agents. And there is another term which is being tossed nowadays, is what they call it as the agentic AI. Okay, so many people are confused that AI agent and agentic AI are same, but they are different. See, these agentic AI is something that is it is an AI that can learn from its mistakes, just like you and I. Okay, we learn from our mistakes. Okay, so some typical example you may give, like, say, let's say you are into some business. Okay, so let's say all of a sudden what has happened, your sales has fallen down, and you want to identify what went wrong, and then you can rectify those things, okay, in your future strategies. So you may use this agentic AI for that purpose. So it will identify what was the reason to the decline of PPI. I'm not showing any PPT. I'm not showing right now. I'm not sharing anything. Okay, I'm not showing any PPT. Okay, that's why you must be getting some blank screen. Okay, so no worries. I'll share. I'll start. Okay, so agentic AI, what I was talking about, that is the AI which can learn from its mistakes. Okay, but for using all these tools, uh, you need to pay. And why it is so? Why it is so? Because their training cost is in millions of dollars. Okay, it is tremendously high. Training time and training cost. Okay, you cannot train these systems on your local machines, right? You require GPUs and all special purpose computers. Okay, and that too, again, using those high-end machine. Okay, many times you need to train them for months together. Okay, and that's why I said the training cost of these tools are quite high. It is in millions of dollars. Okay, and that's why they are not available free of cost. Only the beta version of these tools is free. Okay, I'll show you with some limited functionality, but that is again enough for us, like people like you and I. Okay, wherein we are carrying out some N8N gives some credit to learn. Okay, so there are many. Okay, but in some cases you require some API keys. Any idea about API keys? Have you heard this term? Just I wanted to know whether you are well acquainted with these tools and so on. That's why I'm asking. Okay, there is no other reason. Any one of you know what is API key?
Charat message there. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So API keys are the keys which we have to get from some authorized system to access their tools. That
Yes,
can be an
exactly.
ERP system or anything else.
Yes, yes. So API keys, as a matter of fact, this API stands for Application Platform Interface, right? Application Platform Interface. So it is, as a matter of fact, connector between user and the server or a model. So it is just like a waiter. Okay, for example, you are entering into a restaurant, okay, and you want to order something. Whether you can directly issue the order, no. Okay, some waiter will come to you, he or she will give you some menu card, and then accordingly you will place the order. So that waiter, the role of a waiter is nothing but the role of these API keys. Okay, so I'm putting it in simple words. It is a connector between you as a user and the server or the model. I hope it is clear, right? So it is called as the application platform interface. Okay, and this is a key, maybe 8-digit, 16-digit key, which authenticate you as a legitimate user. All right. Okay, so these are the things which are needed. Now we'll start with some basic tool. I don't know how many of you are using it, but we will start with a very basic tool. Okay, so that you can feel the heat. Okay, and then gradually we'll move to the security and you can say your privacy, all those aspects we will see. Okay, how to safeguard yourself, because as I have told you, that is if you use these tools in online mode, okay, it is vulnerable in terms of your privacy and security, right? So instead of that, whether are there any solutions available, are there any platforms available, so we'll look into those platforms as well, wherein you can download some of these tools on your desktop. Okay, and along with the open source model. So open source community is actually contributing in this area as well. Okay, wherein you have got certain open source model like say Llama and so on. So those models can be downloaded on your desktop or a laptop. Okay, and then definitely without any internet connectivity, you may use those tools. Okay, for your personal purposes. Okay, not for commercial purposes. Again with cautious warning, that is about their reliability. So you can rely on these tools not more than 80%, that too on the higher side. Okay, so yeah, that too on the higher side. So 60 to 80% reliability is okay, but if you heavily rely on these tools, that is again highly dangerous. So with this note, let us start with certain tools like the very first one. We'll start with let me share my entire screen. Okay. I hope my entire screen is visible to you. We'll start with a very basic tool, what they call it as the notebook LM. Whether you are using it, notebook LM you are using, say yes or no. Anyway, because the number of participants are quite large, okay, those who are from computer science, they may be well acquainted with this tool, but we'll start with a very basic tool, but this help you a lot in your teaching learning activities. And that is the reason why I'm keeping it on the as the very first tool. So what you need to do for using this tool is simply uh, go to your Gmail account, okay, and then simply click on this Google Apps, okay, somewhere at the bottom, okay, scroll down, somewhere at the bottom, you will find this notebook LM. I hope my entire screen is visible to you. My screen is visible to you. Somebody has to confirm. Are you with me, first of all?
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
It is visible. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So Notebook LM, as I have told you, this is a tool which is available free of cost by Google itself. And for using this Notebook LM, you don't require anything other than your Gmail ID. So either you log in through your Gmail account, go to Google Apps, scroll down, simply locate Notebook LM, click on that, you will find something like this on the screen. Okay. Or the other way around, you can go to this URL, that is notebooklm.google.com. Okay, log in through your Gmail account and it will take you to this particular screen. Okay. I'll now here onwards, I'll go a little slow because so that those who are completely new, they can uh, feel the heat, right? How it is and how to play with all these tools, right? Now, as I said, this is completely free. Okay, now your objective is to create a new notebook. Okay, as I said, this tool is typically for teaching, learning, and evaluation purpose. Okay, teaching, learning, and evaluation purpose. Okay, so let's say I want to create a new notebook. Okay, so there are two ways in which I can create. Either I can click on this create new button, or there is a button here somewhere. Okay, create new notebook. Both way it is same. Okay, so let us click on this create new. Moment you click on that create new, you will find something like this on your screen. Okay, now your objective is to create a new notebook. All right, now this notebook can be anything, right? Say for example, you have already downloaded some research paper and you want to summarize those paper, or you want to create some stuff out of those paper, maybe for your let's say the progress seminar presentation and so on, right? So you can do that particular thing quite easily by using this particular tool. It is a very powerful tool and very easy to use tool at the same time. So what you can do, you may upload those files which are present on your pen drive or your hard disk by using this upload button. Okay, this is the upload file button. Click on that, simply browse and drag and drop those files here. Or let us assume you do not want to upload files from your local machine or desktop. Okay, you want to catch hold of some sources from websites, either on say for example the YouTube or some other website. So you may use this website option in that case. Or let's say if something is lying there on your Google Drive, so you may pick this drive option. Okay, or something which you have copied on your clipboard. Okay, Control C, what we say, right? Copied on your clipboard, you want to paste it as it is, you may use this copied text option. Okay, or you may drag and drop files in this particular area for uploading those things, maybe PDF, images, docs, audio, anything, any sort of file you may upload. Okay, upload for creation of notebook. Let us assume that you are not interested in any of these four options, but rather you want to use some online sources. Okay, so here you can type the topic you are looking for. Let's say AI in innovative, or you may suggest me some topic. I will go ahead with that topic. So AI in innovative pedagogy, right? Let's say I want to prepare a session or a presentation or something I want to gather for this AI in innovative pedagogy, right? So, or any other topic, whatever you feel appropriate. So here you are supposed to type that particular thing. Then under the web option, you have got either you can pick up files if you have on your drive, or you may go for this web option. So right now we'll be going for web option. Again, in the search mechanism, let's say if you want to carry out extensive or deep search, okay, so you may go ahead with this deep search option, or by default the fast search option is always enabled. Okay, so since deep search will require more time, so we'll go ahead with this fast search option. Okay, and simply hit this blue arrow key. Okay, simply hit this blue arrow key, AI and innovative pedagogy. Let us give few more keywords here. Indian scenario. Okay, okay, and hit this blue arrow key. Okay, so what is happening is, as you can see here on the left hand side, what has happened? It has gathered around 10 odd sources. Out of 10, 3 are being displayed here, and it is saying 7 more sources. Okay, you can have a look at those sources by simply clicking on this, okay, view button. Okay, it will show you all the 10 sources. Now, what is your job? Your job is to simply see whether these sources are relevant or not. If it is not, you may discard them by simply unchecking this box and so on. Okay, so let us assume that we are satisfied with the sources. Now, these sources are important. Based on these sources, your notebook will be created. Okay, based on these sources, your notebook will be created. Now, what we need to do is we need to import these sources. Okay, so simply click on this import button. Okay, now what is happening is it is capturing all those 10 sources and it is creating a notebook out of it. But few things you need to remember. It will not capture anything which is under controlled access. Now, what do I mean by controlled access? For example, some IEEE papers or some elsewhere paper which require some login ID and credentials. Okay, so those will not be fetched by this particular tool, right? Because it requires authentication. Okay, but it will catch hold of all the sources which are available in open source. Okay, or open access kind of a setup. Okay, we call it as an open access. Okay, so it will capture all those sources. Whenever some authentication is needed, it will simply ignore that particular source. Okay, now what has happened, as you can see here, 10 it has created a notebook, okay, using those 10 sources. And if you look at this chat functionality, it has given a relevant and a very fantastic title for the work which we are trying to create: AI integration in Indian classroom, frameworks and implementation strategies. Okay, so this mid pane is basically intended for chat functionality. Okay, now here you can chat with all those 10 sources. You can fire any query. Okay, here you can type your query and simply hit this arrow. Okay, it will try to respond to your query. Let's say or you have got some inbuilt FAQ sort of queries which it has created on its own. Say, for example, how does AI personalize learning for diverse Indian classroom? Okay, so let's say I'm interested in finding out answer to this particular query. So I simply click on that. Okay, now it is what it is doing. It is assessing, then reading your sources, analyzing your files. Okay, and exploring AI personalization. Okay, and then analyzing, addressing, and so on. Now this is the answer crafted by this particular tool. Okay, so at the back end, it is using AI, right? So this is all about the chat functionality. This is all about the chat functionality. Now, as far as the number of sources are concerned, you can add as many as 50 odd sources. Okay, you need to simply go on adding 5 times. Okay, it will generate. Just for the sake of example, we are considering only 5. Now let us look at this right hand side, which is called as the studio functionality. Now what is there in studio? Let's see. Okay, it is very useful for all of us as a teacher. Okay, so this tool is capable of creating an audio overview, that too in your native language. Okay, say for example, what I came to know that most of you are from Jharkhand, and Hindi is the language over there. So it is capable of creating this. These many Indian language support is there as on date. Okay, and again, few people are from Bengal. I think Bengali is again there. Gujarati is there. Then few South Indian languages are again there, and this list is growing. Okay, so you can create a audio overview. Okay, but let's say if you do not speak any of these languages, by default it will be created in English. Okay, and how you can create that? You can simply click on this audio. Okay, it will go on creating. Okay, now it is working on it. It will consume definitely more time, because everything is happening on the Google Cloud. Okay, so it all depends upon the traffic and other conditions. Okay, even your connectivity will play a vital role in that case. Okay, apart from that, you can create a video. Okay, and the beauty of this audio and video is it is a conversational video or audio taking place between two. One fellow will be asking the question, the another one will be responding to those queries. Okay, so the student can learn those things, okay, without going through any, you can say, the text. Okay, by simply listening to that interview. Okay, or the even the teacher, let's say you want to learn something new. Okay, you can do it so quite easily using this audio or video functionality. Apart from that, you have got the facility for creating a mind map. Okay, what is mind map? It will create a mind map which is typically needed for teaching learning. Okay, then it will, for assessment I have told you. Okay, assessment again you may use it. So it is capable of creating quizzes. Simply click on quiz, and the beauty is all these things will be generated based on the 10 sources which you have identified in the sources panel. Okay, so if it is 50, then it will use all those 50 for the creation of these things. Okay, that is the best part of it. Okay, then flashcard it will create. Okay, click on flashcard. It will create an infographic. Let's say you want to use it for your presentation. Okay, so one page infographic, fantastic, based on those 10 sources will be created using this infographic button. Okay, then apart from that, let's say you want to create a PowerPoint presentation based on those 10 sources. So you have a facility called slide deck. Click on slide deck, it will create a slide deck for you. Meaning thereby the PowerPoint presentation. Now everything is going on here. Now let's see what has been already finished. So mind map is ready. Click on mind map. Okay, here is the mind map for you. Okay, now this you may share with your student community by simply clicking on this share button. All right, by simply clicking on this share button. All right, so this mind map, then let us close it. Okay, then let's see what is there in the quiz. Okay, it has created quiz based on those 10 sources. As you can see here, based on 10 sources, 12 question it has created. Okay, along with the answer, MCQ can go to the next question by simply clicking on this button. Again, you may share it with your student community by simply clicking on this share button. All right, so now let us see what is there in the flashcard. Okay, flashcard, again they are ready. Okay, click on flashcard. So it has created how many? 65 flashcard based on those 10 sources. Okay, you can go to the next by simply clicking on this. Okay, again answer is there. Okay, you can see the answer by clicking on this button. Again, you may share it with your student community by clicking on this share button. Right? Okay, I'm going a little fast, but let's say if you want to know anything, okay, we can have a look at it. Okay, so this is there. It is generating the slide deck. Slide deck requires little bit more time, and this audio will, again, audio and video will require a little bit more time. but it will be ready within few minutes. Okay, within few minutes. All right. So this is all about, you can say, the notebook LM. Okay. Apart from that, you have a data table. Okay. Data table is there. Okay. Then data table typically we use for carrying out that literature survey. Okay. That is again there. Now, one functionality which I have not demonstrated you, but that is again very important, is the report section. Now, what is there in the report section? Let's say I want to prepare a research proposal, okay, based on these 10 sources. All right. So we can do it quite easily with the help of this report section. Let's see what is there in the report section. Simply click on this reports. Okay. You will find some built-in template. Now, built-in template like say briefing doc, it will prepare briefing doc, which you may share with your student community or a study guide, or let's say blog post. Okay, blog post can be created, okay, by simply clicking on this. Then maybe strategic implementation roadmap, institutional governance white paper. Okay, now these template will vary depending upon the topic you are dealing with. Okay, so maybe a conceptual primer or educational paradigm overview and so on and so forth. Now, let us say I'm not satisfied with all these built-in template, brief doc and so on. I want to create my own. Okay, so you may do so by simply clicking on this create your own. Okay, now simply say create your own. By default, the language is as on date, it is English only. Now here you are supposed to type what exactly you want from the tool. Okay, so you may say create a research proposal, create a major research proposal for admission to UGC, New Delhi. Okay, then use latest UGC guideline. Okay, and simply hit say generate. Now it is creating. Okay, it is creating that. Okay, let me check what else. Okay, yeah. So this is ready probably. Table what we have given, that table is ready. Okay, focus area, it has created a table. Okay, comparing target user, key features. Again, it is based on all those 10 sources, associated policy document, NEP 2020, and what is the source and so on. This normally we require for the literature review of the existing methods and so on. Okay, now I hope that you may find this quite interesting, okay, for your teaching research activity. Okay, so this is almost done. Let's see. Yeah, AI integration. Now this is the infographic, okay, which we have asked for. Let's see what is there. Again, it is based on 10 sources. A fantastic infographic it has created. Okay, based on those 10 sources, AI in Indian education, the strategic leap toward 2047. Okay, government mission, which is the target is 2047. That is okay. Again, it is being depicted here in the form of policies and fantastic graphic. Okay, which is bit difficult for us to create as a user, right? So this is all right. So this is there. Then let's see whether the generating audio AI research proposal. Now proposal is again ready. Okay, let me show you. Okay, research proposal, AI-driven pedagogical transformation and the integration of Indian knowledge system under NEP 2020. Now, this is project identification and contextual rationale. Okay, then the review of literature, okay, in the form of table. Now, everything is ready. Okay, research questions and objectives, then core research questions, all right, theoretical framework, Then see the research methodology and data collection procedure, but don't copy and paste it, right? Don't do that. Okay, you may use it as some baseline document for the rough work and so on, right? So this is the research proposal which we have created. Okay. Now this is the PowerPoint presentation. I think it is ready now. Okay. Now let's see what's there in the PPT. Okay. Now this is the PPT. Okay. Look at the use of graphics. Okay. This is the second slide. This one is the third one. Again, based on those 10 sources. So what is crucial here is how you pick up the sources and how reliable they are. Okay. If you are very keen, if you have taken a lot of effort in that regard, okay, the stuff you will get is to your surprise, it will save your time and energy. Okay, this is probably 7, 8, 9, 10 slides probably it will prepare. Now, okay, with conclusion and all. So this is the probably the last slide, 10th slide. The synthesis, the AI integration framework, AIFF. Right. Okay. So this is a tool which you may use is for teaching learning purpose, right? Teaching learning, and again up to some extent research. Now again our video is ready. Okay, so video is ready. Okay, as I said, it will be a conversational video. Right. So on the similar line, you may create a video as well. Okay, a video and audio will consume a little bit more time. So this is all about Notebook LM. Now, if you have any specific query, you can fire it now. Okay, now let's move ahead. This was one of the most basic tool. Let us move ahead with some other tool. Oh, anything with regard to this, or shall we move ahead further? Okay, now let's close it down. Okay. Now the another category is what they call it as what you would like to see, whether you would like to see something on the research front.
Hello.
Okay,
Yes,
yes,
sir.
sir.
On research
Okay.
front.
On research.
Hello.
Let's move. Yes, sir. Yes,
Sir,
please.
I'm audible, sir.
Yes, you are very much audible. Please.
I am Dr. C.S. Yadav, sir. I would like to ask a question, sir. Hello.
Please, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Sir,
Please go ahead. No problem.
Suppose we create a PowerPoint presentation through Notebook LLM, then how that PPT is editable form. If we want to change the logo, जैसे in the मतलब
Yes.
bottom line
Yes.
at the rate
Yes.
Notebook LLM, can we change
Yes,
that?
yes. Yes, you can, but there is nothing wrong in keeping it as it is, because if you are using it for research purpose, because again, ethically it is not correct, right? So there is nothing wrong in keeping it as it is. Okay. See, still you are taking a lot of efforts for selecting the sources. I am repeatedly
Yes,
telling
sir.
you what
नहीं,
is in
actually,
your hand is
suppose we write down the document and then upload that document on the LLM Notebook LLM and then create PPT. Then why we should show that logo Notebook LLM?
Sir, देखिए, somewhere you need to acknowledge, right? This is courtesy. Ethically, actually, you should acknowledge, because see, it is using a lot of see at the back end, they are deploying that AI, whatever we have done, right? So definitely they
Sir,
want.
but in India, people will think he is generated through Notebook LLM.
I got your point, but you can convince them that I have used Notebook LM. There is nothing wrong in that. But the papers and the other stuff, sources are my own. So whatever
Actually,
it has generated.
idea is also, suppose my
Yes.
idea is
Yes,
there.
yes.
We are using for infographic information.
Yes. Infographic, what is wrong? As you can see, it is fantastic. Okay, in terms of, because if you do it on your own, it will require hours together, if I'm not wrong, right? And that too, you require a lot of skills.
Right, sir.
So there is nothing wrong in even acknowledging, okay? Because see, over a period of time, people will start recognizing that this is just like we had this new normal, okay, in terms of online training, okay. On the same line, when you go on presenting, even in some session, people won't mind it, okay, because
But
they very
sir,
well know.
but in the college, if we display this PPT, then our director will think, no, he just created from
Yeah,
the AI
I
tool.
got it. I got it. There are again solutions to it, but it is not appropriate for me to speak on those lines in this because this session is being recorded, right?
Okay, okay.
But there are solutions available. There are solutions. You can read
Right,
between the
right.
lines if I'm not wrong, right? You
Okay.
can read between the lines. Okay.
So
But it is a
hello.
fantastic tool. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Yeah, sir. Myself Jyoti Chitalai. I am from Pune, Maharashtra.
Great.
Yeah, sir. I want to know: is there any limit to use this tool, sir? How much days or any data they are asking? I mean, as a limit?
No, no.
No,
Right now, it is completely free.
free.
I am using it since long. I am not
Great.
facing any problem, right? So you
Yeah.
can use it, but in future it may be possible that Google will start charging for it, right? But as
Yes.
on date, it is completely free.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
you
you,
may
sir.
use it without any hitch, right?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, chali. Now let's move further. Okay, let's move further. Okay. Now somebody said, ki, bhai, you are keen to know certain things on research front. Okay. So on
One more
research,
thing, sir. Sorry to
yes,
disturb.
yes, yes, please.
So if we are processing our research paper on this, if it will be considering as a plagiarism from this,
100%. 100%.
no, if it's my work and I just want to assess that or analyze that particular with this tool, so it will be considered as.
Actually, I think I have already talked on this issue. That is, whatever you will generate with these tools, whether it is Notebook LM or any other tool, okay, it will be classified as a AI generated stuff. Okay. So
Okay.
whenever you put that stuff, that's why I'm repeatedly telling you that is the research proposal. I have shown you how to create it, but don't copy and paste it. Even though it provides you facility for copy and paste, but don't do that. Okay.
Okay.
Use it as a baseline document. Okay. And then moderate it, modify it in your own words, and then, but it will help you a lot if I'm not wrong. That is, it will give you an outline. Okay. That is how the things are. Okay. And in what direction you can move ahead, right?
Okay,
But
sir.
don't
Thank you.
copy and paste it. If you do so, and let's say if UGC is putting that particular document in some Turnitin or Plaque test, okay,
Oh,
it
that
will
would
be
be good.
categorized as AI generated stuff. Okay, it will not exactly come up that it is a Notebook LM product or it is Chat GPT or it is anything else, but it will definitely categorize it as AI generated stuff. It will be tagged as AI generated stuff.
Okay,
I
sir.
hope I have
Okay.
answered you.
Okay, thank you,
Yes.
sir.
And so, but for teaching learning, there is nothing wrong. And for teaching learning, for sharing it with student, for sharing notes, this is what we do exactly. For conducting tests, okay. So there is nothing wrong in using it for that purpose. Okay. So I think some professor was pointing out, sir, our authorities will not allow, but your authorities should start accepting these things as a new normal, right? Because if something is there, why to waste a lot of time and energy? Say, for example, preparing a PowerPoint presentation will require maybe 5 to 6 hours. Again, the quality will not match what quality we are getting here. है ना? So you use your own sources. Okay, put those sources in the uh, tool and create a notebook out of it. So there is nothing wrong in that. Done. Okay. So let's move ahead with something on research front. So we'll just try to look at a very basic tool once again called as Elicit. Okay. Elicit. Okay. If you are a first time user, simply go to elicit.com and Okay, there we are. So what you need to do is either you need to sign up. Okay, either you need to sign up or you can log in through your Gmail credential. That is Gmail login ID and password. So right now I have created my account through my Gmail credentials. Okay, this is mohammadatik@gmail.com, and there we are. Now this tool is typically used for analyzing and synthesizing research paper. Okay, analysis and synthesis of research paper. Okay, now let us try something on this. Okay, now just tell me any area you would love to explore. Any one of you would like to explore? Just tell me any area.
Sir, can we
Yes.
explore mathematics unsolved research problems?
Sorry, mathematics.
Unsolved research problems. Can they be? Can it be
Yes.
helpful in solving
Yes,
them?
yes. Mathematics, unsolved research. Let's see. Research problem.
Yes, sir.
You want to apply AI in this area? Let's apply AI. Okay, it will be
Yeah.
little.
I want to know whether AI can give some result or not.
Yes.
On research
So
problems.
mathematics unsolved research problem using AI. Okay, that is what I have given. Let us try to now under sources. Okay, you may have research papers or you may have citation trials 500K and so on. So let us hit this arrow and let's see what it is going to give you. So what has happened? It has started analyzing various sources and it is giving me almost 10 odd papers. Okay, 10 is a unit typically. Okay, you may add few more if you require. Okay, what you need to do is simply scroll down and here you have got load more papers. Okay, as you can see here in the bottom, load more papers. So 10 papers it has already sorted out. Okay, now these are the papers. Okay, along with say mathematics, word problems, common sense, and AI. Okay, then can a lightweight automated AI pipeline solve research level mathematical problem and so on. So some papers it has identified. Okay, so on the very first column you have got the paper along with their citation, their year of publication, authors, all those details are there. Then you have got second column, the summary is there by default. Okay, now let us say I want to analyze all these 10 or 20 odd papers in terms of some other parameters. Let's say I want to know the research gaps between these papers. Okay, so you can simply do that by simply clicking on this edit column, which is there on your right hand panel. Click on edit column, say add new, and here you are supposed to type what exactly you want. That is research gaps.
Excuse me, I have another doubt. So
Yeah.
some papers, research papers are not accessible. Okay, we need to pay for that one. So can it and still analyze those papers?
No. No. Yes, you need to upload those papers if you have their soft copies, but it will access only those papers which are in public domain or open access
Okay.
platforms. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Wherever controlled access is needed, because this is a tool, third-party tool, right? So how it will access? Otherwise, people will start using these tools for downloading those papers, right? So it is not possible, right? Now, research gap I am putting here. Now, let's say I want to create this research gap column in a specified manner. So I can give some instruction in English. Okay, whatever I feel appropriate here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now, I'm not giving any. But let's say if you want to achieve these research gaps in a particular manner, you may pass on those instructions to this particular tool by putting it in the instruction box. Okay. Then you may say in answer structure, any specified, yes, no, maybe, and so on. Now, simply I am doing it for simplicity, add a column. Now, what has happened, as you can see here, new column is being added called as research gap. And the stuff from those papers is being populated here, right? Research gaps. Okay. So this way you can add as many as 4 columns in a single go, because right now we are using a free version of this tool. Okay. But if you want to go beyond 4 columns, you need to upgrade. Okay, you need to pay for it. Maybe some $5, $10, whatever. Okay, we'll not go into the details, but you click on this upgrade button, it will give you the subscription fee and so on. But let's say we are all Indians, we know how to handle it, right? So as I said, not more than 4 columns in a single go. So what you can do, you may delete these columns. Once you are done with this summary, you may delete it. Or let's say you are also done with this research gaps. Let's delete it, add 4 columns, and then delete it and copy and paste that stuff in some text file. Okay, so that will serve the purpose, right? Is this okay?
Yes,
So
sir.
this,
Thank you.
this elicit is typically used for analyzing and synthesizing research papers. Okay, analyzing and synthesizing research paper. I don't know whether if I am going little fast. Please let me know. Okay,
No, sir. Still, it
but
will be helpful. I guess it will be helpful. Like to
see
elicit will be helpful.
Still it will be helpful. You may use it for yes, your research purpose. Yes. Smita
Thank you,
Patil,
sir.
I think probably you are once again from Maharashtra. Happy to see faces from Maharashtra.
Sir, actually, basically, I am from Odisha, Smita Pati.
Oh, what I thought it is Patil. What I thought I
It's,
L is there. Okay.
it's okay,
Sorry for
sir.
that. Okay.
No
But
issue, sir. Thank you.
earlier, one more participant, Jyoti madam, saying that she is from Pune. So I thought you are from probably Maharashtra. Okay.
Basically,
So
I'm from Odisha, but I've stayed in Jharkhand from last 17
it's okay.
years.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. There's
No
no
issue, sir.
regional
Thank you.
bias, but just because when you see your own people, okay, you become a little bit happy. Okay, that is human tendency. Anyway, I hope all of you are enjoying, right? Let's
Yes, sir.
move ahead with let's move ahead with some other tools. Okay. Now let us try something. Right now you are attending this session, okay, and you want to have a transcript for the entire session. Some of you are noting down and taking a lot of efforts using your pen, okay, and so what you can do, you may use an application called Granola, okay, but for a limited set of meetings it will allow you, okay. It will prepare Granola, okay, it will prepare the transcript, okay. This I will not demonstrate, but you can give a try on this, okay. Granula is the app, okay, or rather, most of the tool they have got their own product in this line, which will once you log in, that fellow will log in as your assistant, okay, and it will take notes for the entire session. Whatever I am saying, whatever is happening in the session, everything will be recorded in the form of a text, so that you need not have to note down, but you can give a try on these lines. Okay, that is just another thing. Now, somewhere I think I have talked about that is whenever you interact with these tools, the biggest problem is your privacy and secrecy. So, how to protect yourself? Say, for example, I am using any of these tools for some confidential work. I want to create a question paper for the examination purpose. But as I have told you, that is, it will do it for you. There's nothing wrong in that. But when you do it in an online mode, there is always a risk involved, okay, in terms of security and privacy, because whatever prompt you type and whatever responses it is generating, it is vulnerable in terms of security. Now, how to safeguard yourself? Now, there are two platforms which I will explain you, okay, and these platforms are fantastic, okay, but the only issue is uh, for using these platforms, you have to have minimum core i7 machine with 8 to 16 GB of RAM and sufficient amount of hard disk. Okay. So if it is so, then definitely you may use these tools. Okay. Now the first tool is, or first framework is what they call it as the Olama. Okay. For getting Olama, again, this is freely available. Simply Google Olama free download. Okay. Simply Google Olama free download. Okay, go to the very first link. Okay, download Olama on Windows. Now, most of us, we are using Windows, but let's say if you are using Mac OS, okay, so if you are using Mac, you may click on this Mac. If you are using Linux, okay, Linux version is again there. Otherwise, this Windows is there. So simply click on this Windows. One executable file will be downloaded. Okay, download that file in your download folder. Double click it. Okay, double click will execute that particular file. Double click it and simply click next, 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 next. It will be installed on your desktop. Okay. Now, once it is installed on your machine, what next you need to do is you need to populate it with various models. As you can see here on the left-hand corner, okay, there is a model button. Okay. Now, all these models are free and open source model. Free and open source model meaning thereby they are built on FOSS philosophy. So nobody is the owner. Okay. We have hundreds of softwares on these lines. Okay. For example, the Android right now, whatever you are using, earlier it was free and open source. Nobody was the owner. Then what has happened? Google has bought that particular product. Okay, now they are coming up with different versions and so on. But there are hundreds of softwares available, which are Apache is a free and open source software. Linux is free and open source software and so on. Okay, apart from this Mac and Windows, but this Linux is a free and open source software. Right. So nobody is the owner, so no need to pay any license fee. The only thing you need to do is you need to acknowledge that you are using this. Okay. So what you need to do next is you need to populate it with various models. Now I'll show you, I have installed it on my machine. So let me show you the demonstration. Okay. So Olama I have already downloaded. I'm showing you the execution. Okay. And the beauty of this tool is once you have downloaded it on your machine, okay, you don't require even internet connection for using it for your research or any private purpose. Okay. Now I'm loading this Olama. Okay. All right. So as you can see here, it is a framework. Okay, right now, just because of the hard disk space, I have downloaded only one model because these models are bulky. Okay, so I have downloaded only Llama 3.2. So these free and open source models are like say Gamma, Llama, and so on, right? So if you click on this, okay, if you click on this, you will find that Quen 3 version 8B, version 4B, 30B, and so on. And let's say you want to add this particular model Quen 3. Simply click on this download button, it will be downloaded on your hard disk. Okay, but as I said, these are all bulky model. You can scroll it down. Okay, so this GPT is again there. Okay, GPT is again there. Gamma is there, which is typically used for creating PowerPoints and so on. So DeepSeek is again there. Okay, so these many models are there. So right now I have downloaded this Llama only. So Llama is in place. Now here onwards, whatever question I type, whatever responses I am getting, it will be kept local on my machine. Even I don't require a internet connection for using this. See, online versions are again available of this Olama and the another one which I'll show you just now. But don't use online because if you use online, again you will face that kind of a problem, same problem, right? So as to avoid that problem, you can download these things on your local machine. Now, whatever you type, whatever interaction you will have, whatever responses will be generated. Let's say you are generating a question paper or whatsoever, right? It will be between you and your desktop. No internet connection. Done. Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir. I have one question.
Yeah.
Sir,
please.
when going through offline and using this Olama, how it can be saved? It can be automatically saved or we have to save it manually?
You can save it. Say, for example, all these earlier my chats, as you can see on this left-hand side. Okay, it is showing me last week chats, whatever I have carried out. Right. So this new chat, it will be saved, or you may copy and paste it in some text file. Okay, but earlier chats, it will show. They say, for example, this is how I have interacted with this. Okay, innovative pedagogy. Now AI in cyber law, Indian context. Okay, now I may copy it. See, this copy button is there. Okay, so you may copy this. Okay, copy and then paste. Right, paste in some text file, or few of the chats are available. I don't know exactly how many days it usually keeps those chats, but few weeks it is showing. Okay, last week, this week, some older chats are again there. But again, it will be stored on your local machine only. Okay, because you are not using any internet connection. Repeatedly, I am telling you, no need of any internet connectivity. If you are using internet connection, again the vulnerability will remain same. What it used to be in the other tools, like say ChatGPT and so on. Right. So Olama is one of them. Now let us move ahead with one more.
Sir, 1 minute, please.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Sir, any you gave a few versions. So, are there any specific, work for that version? Is there any linking of that? I mean, this work has to, you should have that version like that.
Not at all. They are all general purpose. They are all general purpose. Okay. Again, different tools are for different purposes. Say, for example, Llama, as I have told you. So each one of them, they are designed for some specific task. Okay. But you may use it. Okay. But in some of the cases, you may not be satisfied in terms of the responses generated by them. And again, it's advisable to quit it once you are done. Because as I said, it will consume a lot of energy. It may be possible that your system will hang. Okay. So I'm quitting this Olama right now. Okay. Now let me show you another tool on these lines, that is LM Studio, which is very parallel to that. But it is said that it is comparatively better than Olama. LM Studio. Okay. Let's say we download. Simply Google it. Go to this first link. Okay, you will find Windows version here. So download for Windows, it is saying. Right? Click on this. Again, download one executable file. Very resource hungry, just like we have talked about Olama. Okay, minimum i7 processor with 8 to 16 GB of RAM, and sufficient amount of hard disk is essentially needed. Done. Right? Once you have downloaded, okay, you need to populate it with certain models, and those models are available here, as you can see here. Okay, these models are there on the website itself. Okay, so it's one-time activity. You need to download them. Okay, rest all, say for example, Granite, okay, Quen 3.6, and so on and so forth. Right, these many open source models are there. Okay, so you may download them. Okay, now I'll show you. I have installed it on my machine, so I'll show you the demonstration. LM Studio. Yeah, I'm opening it up. So let us check it out. Okay, it will, as I said, it will take a little bit more time. Okay, now let's see what's there. Okay, now it is asking me to go for a update. Okay, many times when you are not using it for a longer period, okay, you need to upload it. Okay, now it is update it. Now I'm updating it. Okay, right now I'm using because we are connected. Okay, so immediately it will check for the updates. Okay, you need to update it, but you may use it for the offline mode. Now, as you can see here, select a model to load. Okay, on the top, click on this. Okay, you will find right now I have downloaded only two models. One is the Llama 3.2 and the second is the Gamma 2. Okay, so you may pick any one of them as per your own need. Okay, and start interacting with that model. Again, no need of internet connectivity and so on. Done. Okay. Now let me update it. Okay, since it has started. Okay, now I'm loading this model. That model is being loaded. But as it is saying that relaunch it. Okay, so I need to, so as to take effect of those updates, okay, I need to relaunch it. Seek my permission. Yes. It will ask for the administrative password and so on. So anyway, so this is LM Studio, right? This is LM Studio. Now let's move ahead with certain things on, what should I say, the AI agent front. Okay. Now, even if you are not from computer science, you don't know how to write a single line of a code, okay, you can build systems. Okay, that is what we are going to look at. Okay, I'll show you that they call it as the no code tools or zero code tools or whatever, wherein it is not expected that you must have some knowledge about computer programming and so on, but still you can build tools, so you can build projects. Okay, you can build projects. So what you need to have is, you need to have a clear cut idea what exactly you want to achieve. Okay, if you are clear in that, okay, there is nothing wrong in using these tools. So there are two things which I'll show you here. The very first one is what they call it as the creating an agent, okay, wherein that agent will work for you 24/7, and the name of the portal is Zapier. Okay, go to zapier.com, okay, and we'll see how to create agents, AI agents. Let's say you want to create a research assistant. You may sign up with Google once again. Okay, so let's continue.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
My question is, sir, कि if we download the model and
Yes.
run locally on our machine, so is that model gives the correct answers, create correct contents?
Sir, actually what happens is these are all open source model. Okay.
But we without internet we run that locally on machine, na?
Actually, yes. Actually, what happens is the training, everything up to a particular date. You know, they call it as
Already that trained model
yes,
actually.
already trained model, but up to a specified date. Say, for example,
yes.
let me give you an example. Say, for example, you want to use the latest weather condition, but this
Okay.
model has been trained up to August 2025. Okay. So after that, it will August 2025 is okay. Up to August 2025, if you ask anything with regard to weather and all, okay, it will give you correct answer. But after August 2025, what you need to do is, you need to essentially go for grounding. Okay, grounding, what they call it as the grounding concept. Okay, wherein it is essentially you need to go for some online stuff, so that after that date on which it has been trained, after that date it will catch hold of that data and you will get more appropriate answer.
Okay, we
So
have
they
to update time to time these models.
Yes, that's why I said, for example, this what has happened in this case. Okay, it has asked me because I have not used it since long. Now what it is saying, कि भाई update it. So that updation is only for that purpose only, right? Okay, so that it will download all those updates. Okay, I hope you are
Actually,
getting.
in Chat GPT, actually online training is allowed, na? In Chat GPT. If we
नहीं,
use
sir, Chat GPT or for example Google AI Studio, I think I have forgot to talk about that thing. Okay, again you can Google it. Google AI Studio is again there. So Google provide you that grounding facility. है ना? For example, in Google AI Studio, if you are using a particular model, okay, which has been trained up to a specific date, okay, but if you click on that grounding using some real-time data, what it will do, it will use the latest. Say, for example, we are uh, dealing with that model on 28th of May 2026, and if I click on that grounding button, it will take into account the latest data after the you can say the training has been imparted to that particular model. I hope you are getting it.
actually
So there is a
better way
concept called grounding. Yeah.
actually, sir, better way first update and then use. Actually,
that is another solution. That is another
yeah.
solution. Yeah.
Okay. I got it, sir. Thank you.
So that grounding is needed, sir. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Now I'm showing you one small tool, what they call it as creating agents, Zapier. Okay. So you can build your own agents, okay, for different purposes. Okay. Say for example, okay, if you want to create a new agent, simply click on this new agent. Okay. So what will happen? Let's say if you are completely new, okay, you may create your own agent in your own way. What you need to do is you need to describe what exactly you expect from that agent, that too in an English like statement. Okay, there is no nothing else is needed. Okay, you need to type those things in this box. Okay, but let's say I'm not well conversant. Okay, I'm using it for the very first time. So in that case, you may use some ready-made built-in template available. Okay, so certain templates are there. Say for example, I want to automate my email replies to the participant. I am running a MMTC at my um, university, and I want to address the you can say the participant's query. Okay, so what I will do, I'll create a agent which will go through my mailbox and it will craft answers and automatically fire those things to the participants. So the as if the participant will feel that somebody is there to address their issue, maybe at 2 a.m. in the night or something like that. So these are some you can say the lead generation research, then maybe say call follow up email assistant. So you can create email assistant or sales email creator and so on. So let's say I want to create a sales email creator. Simply click on that. Okay. Here you will get the functionality. Okay. Whatever is there. This is the built-in template. Okay. But you may modify it as per your own need. Customize it. Say, for example, what I am saying, search the provided website. Okay. This is there in the template. Now I may change it. Okay. Depending upon my need. Now let us assume that we are satisfied with this template. So I'm saying use this template. It will ask me to give access to my Gmail account. I need to give access. Then simply say create. I'm creating an agent. See, you must have observed. Okay, everything is on my click. I am not writing a single line of a code. Or otherwise, whatever I will write, that will be again in English. No high level language knowledge you require for interacting with these tools, right? So simply say, then you may add, say for example, I may add my knowledge source. For example, in case of MMTC, my academic calendar for 26-27, I may add up that here. Okay, or I may add certain tool, whatever I need. Okay, so that is possible. Okay, then simply say publish. Okay, you may publish it. Okay, and then it will start working on that. Okay, it will start working on that, and it will go on working 24/7. Okay, unless and until I stop it forcefully. Okay, so this way you can create agents. These agents will work for you 24/7. Okay, you may stop them at any point of time by again logging in. Okay, and doing it. Okay, and so on. Okay, so this is how you can create agents. Okay, let's say you want to look at a preview of this agent. So agent preview is there. Now I'm testing my agent. Okay. Okay, now it has started functioning. I have invoked that agent. Okay, it has started working on those lines. Okay. All right. So it is crafting answers. Okay, everything it is doing. That too automatically. It is a sort of automation using agents. Then let's move further. Now I'll take you to probably another important aspect of this technology, which is little bit specialized and has got some commercial value. That is what they call it as the robotic process automation tools, right? Or RPA tool. Now, RPA tools are basically available for commercial purpose. Okay, they are not available for academic purpose. Okay, under this category, as you can see, R stands for robotic. What does this mean? It is an entity which has got the capability to mimic human behavior. Now, again, we are going back to zero from where we have started, right? So R stands for robotic, an activity or an entity which has the capability to mimic human behavior. P for process. What does this mean? Sequence of steps that link to a meaningful activity or task. Okay, that you may call it as a process. Okay, and A for automation. Now we are doing automation, robotic process automation. Automation meaning thereby doing tasks without human intervention. Okay, now just try to recall and relate the things. Okay, this is the ultimate objective of this entire technology, whatever we have talked about. Now, under this category, basically we have got 5 products which are commercially available. The very first product is what they call it as the Blue Prism. Second is Work Fusion. Third is UI Path. Fourth is Automation Anywhere. And fifth is PEGA. PEGA. Okay. Out of these 5 popular tools, only one tool provide you some facility to play with. And that is called as the UI Path Community Edition. Okay. So what you need to do is simply go for UI Path Community Edition, free download. Okay. And download this particular package on your machine. Okay. Again, resource hungry. Okay. Don't try it on lower configuration machine. Okay. This is UI Path free. Okay. Download Studio for desktop. Double click it, install it. Now, once you are done with this UiPath Community Edition download, okay, on your desktop, okay, let us try to play with this. Okay, what it can do for you. Okay, now I'm saying UiPath Studio. Okay, simply open it. UiPath Studio. I'm opening it. Now this is zero code or no code. You don't require any computer background or any programming knowledge. Okay, but you can build high end projects. The only thing you require is you should be clear in your ideas, what exactly you want to do. But again, very bulky. Okay, very bulky in terms of resources. Okay. Yeah. So there we are. Now, if you look at this studio, okay, it has got these processes, library, test automation, template, everything is there in the form of so resources. Okay. Now let's say I want to build a small project, okay, without writing any program. Okay, so simply go to this my first project. Okay, this whatever I have built, it is a small project. Okay, simply click on that. Okay, So on the left hand side, you have got an explorer. In between, you have got a workspace area wherein you can drag and drop these smaller things from this explorer to this workspace area. And once you are done with that, okay, simply run it with using this debug or F6 option. Okay, I'll show you. So this is a small project which I have created. The functionality is pretty simple, wherein I have defined a sequence. Okay, that sequence is called as Atik, or is the name. Just for the sake of identification, I have given a name called Atik. Then input dialog box is there and a message box is there. So input dialog wherein it will ask me to enter my name and then it will simply welcome me. So there are three structures only. Okay, sequence is there, input dialogues and message box is there, and welcome to the session will be printed. This is what is usually there whenever you write or whenever you learn any programming language, okay, wherein a hello world kind of a thing is there, wherein you simply interact. Okay, now this small project will just try to run it. Okay, so I have not written a code. What I am telling you from these template, I have gone to these entities, drag and drop those entities like say sequence, input dialog, and message box. I am running it. Now, simply you run it. Okay, click on that debug. Okay. No need to touch keyboard. Okay. Without touching the keyboard. Now, what is your name? Let's say I'll say tick. Okay. And it will say welcome to the session. All right. So this is a small project, but this is very powerful in terms of resources. Say, for example, you can catch hold of real-time data from certain websites, okay, and then you may process it. So it has got a UI Explorer, table extraction, hundreds of tools available, okay. Okay, then you have got various packages which you can see in this manage packages and so on. All right. So this is a fantastic tool for the creation of projects without writing a single line of a code. Right? Without writing a single line of a code. Right? So we are almost done. I do have a few more things with me, but I don't think that we have got a time. It's already 5:05. 5 to 10 minutes I have intentionally kept for some sort of a discussion or question answer. So this is all from my end. Let me stop this. Okay. Let me stop this and I'll be happy. You can fire your queries now. I'll be happy to answer.
Sir, the last one tool,
Yes.
what are the other works we can do in that? And I forgot what is the name of that tool?
That is
Last one.
UiPath Community Edition.
Yeah.
Okay, UiPath Community Edition. It is a robotic process automation tool, sir. It is a RPA tool, robotic process automation tool, which you may use it for developing commercial projects, I should say. Okay. So you can do anything, I tell you. Say, for example, you can extract data from websites. Okay. You can extract data from websites in a real-time manner. Okay. So it has got lot of stuff available for carrying out those activities. Okay. But the only issue is that, as I've told you, there are around 5 to 6 tools under this category. But this UiPath is the only one which provides you some community edition free of cost. Okay, which you can play with. Okay. So you can build big systems quite easily. Okay, using this UiPath community edition.
No, for an example,
I hope
suppose, thank you, sir. Just suppose, for an example, if in the classroom teaching, if we ask some AI student to explore it and to do some project under it, so
exactly.
Any such idea that we can ask some
any project you can build, any project you can build. Okay, it generates even the source code as well, which you can customize on your own way. That is the beauty of it. Okay, say for example, I have shown you only the graphical type of entities. But as a matter of fact, at the back end, okay, some code is there which is running.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, which is running. So that code is again given to you as a user. So which you can modify in your own way. Okay. So you can build project. That is why I'm saying, okay, you can build academic projects for your student using this UI path.
Okay.
But you need to explore it in greater detail. Okay, definitely. That is the condition. I hope I have answered your query, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Chandan.
Thank you.
Anybody else? You can fire your queries now. Okay, if you have any specific query, you can fire it now. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
अजीत कुमार सर है चलिए what I thought the coordinator is somewhere else, right? On a lighter note, sir, don't take it seriously. Anyway, so I have tried my level best to.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. It was a really very informative and knowledgeable session. We all enjoyed a lot. I think I saw many has also texted into the chat box. Maybe you were busy that time to explain the concept.
Okay. Let me go through the chat box. If there are any specific query, I'll address those issues. So we may take break. Then attendance. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, some questions on the chat box.
Please. So if you can read it out, or let me check how many document can we upload at a time. This is with regard to Santosh GC, sir. Are you there in the meeting? As far as the notebook LM is concerned, 50 is the limit. 50.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Not more than 50. Okay, 50 is max. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You can add as many as 50 sources in notebook LM, but not more than that. And it is completely free. Somebody has asked, Sanjeev Kumarji has asked that it is paid. No, it is completely free. Okay. Whatever tools I have shown you, the beta version of them and the functionality, whatever I have demonstrated, it is completely free. Okay. But one suggestion from my end, nice and informative session, very informative session, knowledge and insightful session. Okay, daily attendance and feedback. So I don't think there are any more. So what is my suggestion with regard, while using all these tools, don't use your regular Gmail ID. Instead, you create a separate Gmail ID for this purpose, because what will happen, as I said, that the beta version of these tools is free, but they will ask you to go for a paid subscription. So it may be possible that your inbox is flooded with all those mails. So as to avoid that, it's better to create a separate Gmail ID and use it exclusively for this purpose. And that is my advice. Okay, it is not mandatory that you should follow it, but if you want to avoid that scenario, okay, you may do so. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
It was a nice session and so informative.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, one and all, for your patience hearing. And it was really wonderful to interact with you. You were very interactive and enthusiastic throughout the session, and that has given me the energy and I should say the appetite to deal with all these aspects, right, in such a small time. Thank you, one and all, and thanks to the organizer, particularly the director Saab of MMTC and my friend, right, Dubeji, and thanks to the authorities of MIT University for making this happen. Okay. So with this note, I'll hand it over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
sir.
much, sir. Thank you.
Now we can discontinue the session.
Sir, I just wanted to ask, will we get this presentation? Is it possible to get the presentation?
Excuse me,
I think
ma'am. Excuse, ma'am.
Hello, yes?
Yes, madam. Can you provide the link of the recording of this session or not?
Sir, we will get back whatever we have, or all details will be shared in the group itself.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Feedback and attendance sheet will be already shared in the chat. You can fill there.
But there are 3 forms shared. The same form I think has been shared 3 times.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So
All
only
are
one
shared.
we have to, only one on one we
Yes,
have
yes.
to. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Can I talk to organizers?